So, yeah, good times.
We are recording.
You're all dead. Start over.
Damn it.
Kind of what we do. Upload. I have more time in my life, but I had a bunch of stuff happen yesterday. I'm like, crap. I wanted to actually pre-build a few things, but that's fine.
No worries, man.
It's uploading things anyways. So, why don't we do a recap of last game? Normally we need Chaz here because he's the one that does the notes, and the bird takes notes too. So go figure out who's note taker.
Yeah, the birds always get random details that nobody would thought of.
Yeah, it's got nothing better going on. I don't know. Map background. Alright. Layers. So I'm just basically setting up another map real quick. Oof. That's big. Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? That's Matt.
Yeah, no, that's Matt. Sorry, I'll go back to push to talk.
No, it's totally fine. It just makes so much more sense why I couldn't hear it.
I'm trying to find my character on the... There it is. There she is.
Was it alt lets you move things without snapping? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, I kind of listened a little bit, but let's kind of get caught back up with what we missed in the story, and I hope the bird will at least be on time for the normal time. We basically... Okay, you guys spent the beginning of the game kind of investigating the monastery and asking around and figuring out more information. Finding out that the crystal, or the materia, itself was what caused that, cavern in the monastery. Ever since that happened, you had gotten word, I believe it was Dolphy, got a sending spell from the naked baked cooking elf that undead have been rising. Undead is not a term you all know. That the corpses of slain beasts and things were rising. They were headed all mainly in your direction, but it seemed like the wave was moving outward and getting stronger as it went, starting by animating like dead rabbits and birds, all the way to the point where they were worried about a crypt that had their warriors, some of their lower level warriors, and you guys were sent off to investigate and stop that. Kind of two birds with one stone: help out the monastery where you're staying, and investigating, doing that, and also seeing if you can kind of get firsthand investigations of the repercussions of this wave of necrotic energy that's kind of blasted away from the shadowing. I don't think we did too much with some of the other NPCs in the area. We had a hard time trying to remember them all, if I remember correctly, because we didn't have recording from the game previous. And after that, you guys also didn't get a ton of reason as to what happened with the stone, why it exploded or anything of that, right?
Right.
You just know it was the stone was brought here. They tried doing something. It broke. This happened. Okay, good. So you were sent off, and you basically were given the instructions to a lair where the tomb was. You got there, and you found that some of the there were some monks, lower level acolytes, that seemed like they possibly were buried outside or outside of the main tomb that were animated. You fought your way through those. You dealt with a gelatinous cube, if I remember correctly. And then as you made your way in, you found that there were some grave robbers that had died, that had been reanimated, that were camped outside of what seemed to be the main vault door. And you found a very naughty, evil spellcaster, if you will, because the term necromancer doesn't really exist, who was trying to crack into the vault. On the other side of the vault, you had heard that all of the corpses had been animated, and they were all basically Night of the Living Dead, crawling and trying to claw their way out. You managed to scare off the necromancer, and he poofed away at the last possible second. But long story short, you now know that there is somebody who is involved in this, and it's not just a natural phenomenon. Something is happening, and somebody is trying to pull strings, because this person was trying to release the seals on the vault and let all of these undead warriors out. He had animated a champion. That was my extra. You rolled a 20 to make the fight a little harder. That worked out really well. Blade Singer, so fun. And you guys were not in great shape at the end of the fight. So I assumed you're going to tuck your tail, lick your wounds, and head back to the monastery to regroup, explain that the place is safe. I believe somebody said something. They might want to send some guards there just to be safe, or reinforcements, and kind of regrouped. What am I missing?
I think that was
Mic on.
because I think we ended right at the end of combat.
We did.
So.
I do remember that. That is accurate.
And I don't remember anything else really before. And we all did our little bits of investigating, and then we headed out the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think that it was just a matter of fighting through the cave.
Right. Okay. So you guys basically were just going to head back, and we ended at the end of combat. You're like, screw this, we're going home. And I asked you if you're like, no, we're not investigating the cave because we don't want to deal with any more stuff.
Well, we were already really beat up at the time, and unless we were going to
not
get
in a condition to.
Yeah, there was no. Like, if we got in another fight, we were all done. Like,
Yeah, Chad's
everybody.
out of spell slot.
I was out of
done.
spell slots. Yeah, we were.
That makes sense. Okay. So you guys will manage to limp back to, let's make sure it's uneventfully. You manage to limp back to the monastery uneventfully. You will get back. It will still be nightfall at this point. Because remember that the undead come up at night. So you were trying to get there during the day. And as you got there during the day, the undead were starting to creep their way out. You guys make it back to the monastery, and when you get back to the monastery, you can tell the place is, for lack of a better term, on high alert. The doors are closed. They have seemed to almost double the guard. There is more of the paladins from the paladin school pretty much on patrol. What normally you would see like 2 in an area, there seems to be 4. Standing outside the front door with his great maul is literally on the outside of the fences is I believe you had met him or seen him in passing, is the leader. There's the 3 leaders of the different schools, clerics, paladins, and monks, like the 3 schools of Hogwarts. This is the paladin, basically the paladin headmaster, the head of the house, if you will. He is standing out there, kind of leaning against the wall, but he's definitely a guard. And as he sees you coming forward, he's going to rush up to you and wave you down. And I mean, you guys are wounded. Chaz is hurt. He's at 1 hit point, dragging back.
God.
So he's going to rush up. First thing he's going to do is going to lay on hands, and he's going to start healing everybody so you can get back in. And he's going to start asking for a report of what happened at the Tomb of the Warrior.
Well, I mean, I would recount some of the issues,
Right.
basically of the monks that we saw down there that were basically turning into the living dead.
The re-dead.
Re-dead.
The Re-Dead, that's right.
Re-dead. That makes me so happy.
The little things in the world.
Right. You gotta enjoy the small things, Brad.
Live it up while you can.
I love Re-Dead. That's probably the highlight at this point.
Just says something about how bad this campaign's going. Man.
Oof, good point.
yeah, just to recap.
So as you recap, he basically waves up, open the door, and basically they crack open the door. A couple of different acolytes come in and tend to make sure you're okay. They escort you off to one of the smaller little areas, kind of the bunkhouse area where you're staying. Has a main lobby, so you're kind of sitting there around the fire and recapping the story. They ask a lot of detailed questions. You can tell that they shoo away a lot of the lower level acolytes of the different schools, and basically only people that are, like the headmaster's there and a couple higher level paladins are there. They really seem to be interested in details about the Redead. They want to know who they were, if you can give physical descriptions, things of that nature. Do me a favor, since all of you are in Roll20, if you can roll me basically an intelligence check just to kind of see how well you can. Actually, you can roll me either insight or perception, your choice. Simply because this is going to be the level of detail that you can recall after the fact that they've been reanimated, so you can't quite tell skin color and things. Also, you're wounded, you're tired, etc. So basically, you're looking for 10, 15, 20 for 3 levels of success.
All right, hold on.
No, it's fine.
All right, so what am I rolling? I'm sorry. I was
Insight or perception, your choice.
Okay. 1 second. Back to. I was updating my spells, so let me get here. And insight or
perception.
Or perception. Okay. Yeah, both are awesome. Let's just.
Both are awesome. He says.
And it's still the highest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so Ben was too busy trying not to die. The other two, however, can actually pull up you give some information to basically enough that they can tell you. You could tell them that they were. They can decipher from your information that they were lower level acolytes, and they were basically not warriors, but they were people of recognition. I guess is what they're honored people. But they're not 100% sure if they could name, they're going through, they pull out some scrolls and they go through some names of people that might be in there. And they're trying to, you gather from your check, all 3 of you though, that they're looking to know if basically specific people were reanimated or not. And they seem to have a level of concern about, really, it's not that their people are, but they're like, who was it? So it's almost like they're worried about certain people or certain things. Do you guys in your recall give all of the information, or do you withhold any?
I don't really think we have a reason to necessarily withhold anything yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay telling them about everything.
About the necromancer and everything too?
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't.
Right.
Okay.
We're on their side, and they might randomly know or have heard of something in the area. So,
right.
Yeah, I'd say sharing about the necromancer outside the door too. So
when you start explaining the necromancer and how they reanimated the Bladesinger, so basically there's the headmaster. I don't believe I've named them beforehand. The headmaster, the paladin, he's going to refer to himself as Undin, and Undin has 2 apprentices. They're basically 10th level paladins that are kind of training underneath. Think of them as vice principals. One of them gets he's very emotionally taken aback. He seems very solemn, and he just gets up and walks out of the room. Undin explains that his lineage comes from a long line of Bladesingers, so he's worried that it might be his family. But Undin says he has no time for that. If somebody is able to manipulate life forces, they are of a great threat to Naru and the cause of light. So he is not amused with the entire situation. Did I download the gridded one like a dumbass? I did. So, needless to say, they're shocked would be an understatement. They're not amused at all. So I'm going to delete that and go back. So let's shoot a message to Zach and see if he's coming because we're almost there.
So, Brad, just one other thing, just to let you know, and I know we're doing mostly everything in Fantasy Grounds right now, and we can continue to do so. But or not Fantasy, I'm saying Roll20. But Fantasy Grounds is coming out with a version based in Unity, which also has dynamic lighting.
Cool. I have no idea what Unity is, but
it's just a Unity. It's an engine. It's a game. It's a game engine. So they're using the the Unity game engine to power the new to how they're going to power everything. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a Kickstarter for that, and either way, I actually have all the books, like everything in that system.
Oh.
So if we ever want to look into trying to see what that's like one time, I'd be willing to, share my account and we can take a look at it.
I'm not opposed to the idea. I just have zero experience with it, so
Same.
It might make it a little trickier. But yeah, definitely not opposed to that idea at all.
I mean, I'm totally fine with us sticking with this. I mean, you're getting more used to this, and it would be a whole nother system to learn. So.
Right. I need to make this grid a little darker. It's hard to see white grids on snow because, winter and all. He said. Yeah. Okay, so long story short, you guys have the opportunity to take a full rest, so you're fully healed, and they're going to continue asking you more information, but they're not going to really, they don't really give you any direction or anything. You're kind of left on your own to heal up and recuperate. So at this point, it really comes down to what your characters are looking to do. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, you were told that, the message from Holy was that the Redead were appearing as far as Aroth, and that you can tell that the wave was getting stronger. Let me name my dice. That's never good. Okay. All right. So let me know if anybody is doing anything besides resting at this point.
Well, there was that ghost or whatever that didn't want to be found or seen. I'm interested in trying to see if we can, if Emberly can find him or her. I can't remember.
That's right. You're looking for your Sub-Zero to your Scorpion.
Right.
You kept looking in, trying to get information, and you could tell that not only was it that you weren't finding information, it's that people were almost trying to avoid, put you on a misdirection. It's like you were specifically being shunned away the more you asked about it. We have Ben's mystic friend. There were some monks that wanted to fight with the bird. Canis was dealing with more of the politics stuff, and I don't remember what the deal was with the spirit.
I kind of hadn't really found a niche up here yet.
I didn't think so yet.
Yeah, I'd kind of just been here. The magic-y stuff was happening, which... But I guess I would have just kind of taken up guard on the town wall and hung out there. The more on the physical and person hunting side of it. So since everyone here is more worried about the magical side of it, I'm kind of a lot of his element.
That didn't work. Pay no attention to the thing. I'm just messing with my spells.
So he says.
But maybe striking up just conversation with the ones on guard duty around town.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's anything I'd really be.
All right. So you're just basically doing a generic.
Yeah, I guess.
Gathering information.
Trying a little bit about the necromancer, because I did notice you said they kind of were intrigued by that, but didn't give much information. They kind of stopped short when we talked about that. Was that?
Yeah, it really what it was is the whispers going around is that this is forces of Giza, the force of darkness, and this is you're in the temple to the one good God, the one good force, if you will. So this is the Mecca for all like good aligned people and clerics for the entire world.
Okay.
And so this is you're at the Vatican and they're like, oh, demon summoning, So
okay.
It's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
The anointing oil and the holy water is coming out. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I mean, people are praying and people are starting to freak out. The whispers, everybody's kind of like, oh, we're under spiritual attack. Very, very much as the night progresses and you start to get information during the next day. As you guys, after you rest and wake up, you've got the great hall where you guys can eat. You're allowed food and everything. Eventually, you are all going to start to be rounded up, regardless of what you're doing. Bert, you need to roll me an investigation check again to attempt to see if you can get any more information about your Sub-Zero counterpart.
Okay. Sorry, again, I was still messing with spells. So, investigation. Here we go. Ha!
Okay. You might start thinking you're actually starting to doubt yourself that this person actually exists, and you might just have gotten a concussion. You're not 100% sure what's going on. You now can't figure out if it was male or female.
Okay.
You're just I got nothing.
All right, that's fair. Okay. Well.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. So you guys have another day where you're investigating. Eventually, you are starting to get to the point where, like, okay, we don't know what to do. When you are summoned, you basically have a lower level cleric who starts running around tracking you all down. The one who introduced you to your rooms at the beginning, like, hey, you guys need to come to the headmaster's offices right away. And so you all basically are getting summoned as, I assume, standard D&D trope. You guys are going to go see why you're being summoned.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a safe bet.
I mean, it would be kind of stupid to resist in a place where they've got more than enough people who could kill us.
I just want to go drink at the bar.
I want to go drink at the bar. There's unfortunately not quite a bar here.
Oh, one of these monks has a keg somewhere.
There's got to be a friar trunk here somewhere.
Friar trunk.
So what we need is a drunken master. Got it.
Yeah. Where's the Sam? There's always a Sam.
Is there a download button? Save picture. All right. So basically, you guys are all summoned. Okay, so Bird, you came back. Wounded for the wear, you guys all made it back to the monastery. The headmaster of the paladins school was outside. All of the guards are doubled up. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You start recounting and telling everybody the two things that really caught their attention were three. One, they were really trying to figure out who the people were, the re-dead were, mainly because they were worried about loved ones and or seemed like the higher-ups were more worried about something else. Two, one of the vice principals, if you will, the trainees to the headmaster of the paladins, seem to be emotionally distraught at the concept of the Blade Singer because his family comes from a long line of fake Blade Singers. He's actually an elf. And 3, they are very upset at the concept of necromancy in and of itself. The fact that somebody is at work with these dark forces and these Redead, it's not just a natural phenomenon from the stone, or if it is a natural phenomenon, somebody is trying to take advantage of it. And so you guys are basically allowed to rest and heal up for the night. The next day, you kind of get up and do your own things. You are allowed to investigate. Bert goes looking for his Sub-Zero and finds out that he has no idea what's going on. Can't even remember if it's male or female at this point. He's completely on. The trail has gone cold. And at that point, as you guys are all doing your own thing, you're all very frantically summoned to the headmaster's area. You're going to walk in to find all 3 headmasters are standing at the ready, waiting for all of you to join them. What was that noise? No. As you come in, you are basically welcomed in. Undun salutes you as he does as a paladin. He says, welcome. They thank you very much. First off, they're very formal. Everything they're doing is of formality. They're very, by blessing of Naru, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Canis would automatically know the formalities. It's kind of like if you went to the Catholic Church and they say, peace be with you, and you're like, cool. So all 4 of you can basically make me religion checks at this point to see if you know the proper liturgy and protocol for what they are doing. Hi, Bears. I love you.
Going in for the fist bump.
Yeah, you're like, Dolphy takes a drink out of the holy water.
I'm even good at religion, and
you don't make a fool out of yourself. Bert's character Emberly has been to, being of a noble birth, has been to enough ceremonies to kind of follow along and know when to kneel and when to stand. Zach goes, "Oh look, free crackers," and grabs a handful.
Sounds about like a cracker. Bird.
Kaylee, the cleric headmistress, basically does a very Black Panther. We don't do that here. And after they get through the formality and they basically give you some blessings, and Bert sets something on fire. They give you some blessings. They explain that they're very upset at the news of this necromancer, but they now are starting to understand why. They have long felt that on the other side of the mountains, to the North Tundra, that Naru, that Giza, the Force of Darkness, has somehow had forces hiding in the shadows, if you will. And they think it's apropos that the Force of Darkness would hide in the shadow of the mountain. They have since learned that they think there is some type of stronghold or something happening in that direction, and they've tried to use magical scrying to find the location of this, and all they can figure out is that their divination has pointed to the north. The problem is they're dealing with a fight on 2 fronts, because to the south, if you look at your Discord, they're dealing with something else.
Oh, hold on.
Game of Thrones White Walkers, huh?
Well,
looking for new work without their leader.
The Redead that have been gathering stronger and stronger to the south are all headed towards the base of the mountain, and they are literally forming into a large unit of Redead that are headed directly to this monastery. So they have confirmed what they've suspected, that the crater, the source of this caused the wave to go out, and it is attracting all of these Redead to come back. As you've known, they've attacked the walls more and more. But now, because the wave has gotten stronger and stronger, the entire field, basically, of cemeteries between here and Aroth have all reanimated.
Nice.
So they estimate the numbers to be somewhere between 5 and 10,000. So that's all sorts of races that have reanimated and that are headed towards this location. They can't fight a war on two fronts. And they've reached out to Casper. They've reached out to the Blades of Marmora. They have reached out to the Council. And they're looking to get reinforcements. But in the meantime, if their divination magic states that there's some form of threat or some working of Giza on the shadow of the mountain, they need to investigate. So they leave it to you. You can't travel back to Casper right now anyway without walking through this field of Redead. So the question is, would you want to go investigate the shadow of the mountain, or do you want to stand on the front lines and help fight off the army horde? Either, and I'm totally prepared for either. I have tactical battlefield set up, and I have a basically scouting mission / investigation mission set up. I have both. Or you could be like, screw you, I'm finding a way to get out of here.
I'm interested in answers. I'm absolutely not interested in getting involved in their conflict. It seems like they were asking for this with what they were messing with.
Well, they didn't know what they were messing with. White stone showed up and...
Let's try this. Kaboom!
Actions, consequences. I am inclined to let consequences
From
play
what
out.
I remember, the stone didn't show up. They heisted the stone, co-opted it from the group that was trying to bring it back to the main city, and then everything went bad.
Right. So they
stole it for some reason that they're covering up.
Yes, they that was the thing, is they were coming back to Casper and was stolen away, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And brought here.
So this is totally, their actions have consequences because they were dicking around with stuff.
So you guys are saying this out of character, or is this what you're saying to the headmasters?
I'm absolutely not
in character.
I'm absolutely not saying this to them. I might be I'm telepathically projecting it to the party, but definitely not verbalizing it.
I'd be more for heading to the north. I mean, with the numbers coming from the south, I don't think our small party is going to make as much of a difference there. I think we're effective going through the mountains to the north. You can't send a large group that direction very easily anyways. And that would be more discussed out loud, possibly with our party more. Yeah. But that's kind of my thought with this.
So we're going to go climb mountains?
I think we're more effective if we have to choose one or the other. I'm effective on that.
I think our team investigating would do better. But I vote north. Let's go north.
5 to 10,000. I don't think our...
Well, the only reason they say that, to be, valiant warriors and able to handle yourselves on the battlefield, try not to laugh. But so you obviously would be more used to leading units of acolytes at the front line, as opposed, they could give each of you a unit of 10 acolytes and send you out as basically squad leaders. To just help, even if it's thin the numbers, or to attack key positions in the fight. Or you can go investigate, because all of their divination magic that they've been doing from Naru has been pointing them towards the shadow of the mountain. So it's 6 one way, half dozen to me as a DM. I'm trying to figure out kind of as a player,
Right.
Like as characters, what you guys are trying to do. So.
Well, we gotta help these people, but I don't know if we have to get involved in a direct conflict like you guys are saying. So I say if we could kind of help investigate the root causes and things like that, it might be better.
Better, he says.
Yeah, Kimberly is not like a general of any sort, so she's not like as far as
we remember that from the whole pit fight thing. So
hey, I can't help it that they didn't pull through.
It's dirty down there.
Hey, shut up,
Mr. Bird. I don't even want to go underneath. I
right,
hear that.
I had to go all the way out there to get you. Meanwhile, Chaz almost died. Speaking of,
as usual,
but he didn't.
Yeah, miraculously.
I'll put this out loud as like, from what we can tell, all of these re-dead things keep coming here. So we can save everybody by not being here when they come here.
The headmistress of the clerics, Kaylee, basically is so offended that she stutters over her words as she puts her hands around her longsword and it starts glowing with a magical energy, and she's shaking violently. She goes, "You dare insinuate we should abandon the holy ground of light? I mean, you literally just asked the Pope to say, if y'all just leave the Vatican and let them take over, it's cool."
Well, until we figure out a better strategy of
can we move
putting them back to rest, the loss of life seems a waste.
Okay.
And I look at it as like, this is just stone.
Right. And the other thing is it's not like we have to leave this for them. We could just, tear it down. Just burn it down to the ground. Then they don't get nothing.
And this is how we get
She might actually kill you.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to give it to them.
Remember that third option where we joined the
third option? I'm just saying.
We have a new army.
I don't even know as a DM how to respond to that. That
takes Murder Hobo to a whole new.
No, I'm not looking at murdering anyone. I just say we burn the structure down.
The Holy Vatican.
I think you shouldn't be allowed to watch Game of Thrones anymore. Is really what I say.
Right. Well.
Okay. So, Kaylee gets up and she just turns around and walks out of the. And Undin is like,
Candace, you might
that's
want to repair this.
Not an option. I understand you're not of the light, but that's not an option.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, even Chaz might be a little taken aback of like.
Yeah, I've come back. It's like, I'm not talking about destroy the building. I'm just saying, what's more valuable, the brick or the lives that reside here?
I guess Candace is more so to the point, like, why are we even at this point of the conversation anyways? What did I miss? Like, why are we bringing down the monastery?
So the headmasters, after you, all right, so let me catch you up real quick. You guys got back.
Right.
You got back, and they basically, when you debriefed, they were asking a lot of questions about who the Redead were, and it seems like they were trying to be very specific in figuring out exactly who was reanimated. One of the vice principals, a mid-lower paladin, was very upset when you talked about the blade singer because his family came from a long line of blade singers. That's what Undin basically told you when the other paladin got up and stormed out of the room. They were very happy that it seemed like it was basically servants and people of honor, not necessarily full warriors that were reanimated. but they're also extremely, extremely distraught about the concept of somebody as a necromancer, if you will, somebody that's either directly involved of this whole situation or taking advantage of the whole situation. Obviously, a servant of Giza the Darkness. They allow you to rest. You guys do some normal investigation, just kind of get up and butts around your day the next day. The guard has been doubled because of the waves of things that are starting to come are getting stronger and stronger. The next day, right after breakfast, you're summoned to the headmasters, where they basically explain to you that all of the dead humanoids between here and Aroth have animated and are marching on the mountain. It's the White Walkers' army, if you will. All of their divination magics that they've been doing, trying to figure out about this necromancer and everything they can, the only answers they are getting pointed is to the north, to the shadows of the mountain. The north of the mountain range, where you're at the edge of the world, there's basically a plateau that's nothing but ice. Nothing lives there. It's barren. It is inhospitable. It's like Antarctica times 100. And so in the shadows of that mountain is where all their divination, they're pointing them that there's something going on there. So the options they had for you guys is either to go investigate the shadow of the mountain and see what this is all about, or being higher level leaders and not acolytes, being a squad leader, taking a squad of acolytes to help in the fight, holding the line against these. Now, the reason why they don't want to abandon this, which is brought to you by Undin. Undin says, well, if all of these Redead are coming here, they must be coming for something. It is our responsibility as Guardians of the Light to stop them from getting there. So we can't just abandon this building. We can't just abandon whatever they're searching for. That is giving power over to the darkness.
Right. So instead of giving it to them, we can just burn it down.
But that would just make their efforts easier.
Yeah.
Well, how do we know they're coming to try to take something and not just being drawn to? Can we see the dome from where we're at?
Sure, through a window you can see the courtyard.
Just reference to it as how do we know they're not just drawn to there?
We're certain they are. We just don't know why, and we don't know what consequences there would be if they get here.
Perhaps they're
to the rolls right now. I'm just checking stuff.
Okay, maybe perhaps they're interested in the magicite or the materia.
It's wherever the materia.
Materia. Okay.
When that materia shattered and caused the crater, that's what caused the wave of necrotic energy that's going across the planet, which is causing this. And as the wave goes, it gets stronger, redeading stronger and higher hit dice things, which are all then getting up and coming here.
Okay, here as in the monastery, or here
as in the monastery, as in the actual crater that is covered by, they're weaving magics over to try and protect it.
Okay, so maybe they're just trying to...
It's that white stone. You came here to investigate the white stone that they stole.
Right.
Something happened. You guys still don't know what. The white stone is gone, exploded is what you're told, caused a pretty big crater in the ground, and ever since that happened, that's when Redead started happening.
And so we're told the materia exploded.
Correct.
Okay,
you have no reason to believe otherwise, but you don't know a lot of things. You don't know how it got here, why it got here, who did what caused it to explode, yada, 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 who was involved.
Yeah, so none of that.
No,
none of that. But they've admitted that it was here.
Yeah, but see, if we've no reason to believe, if they don't have any know-how of who, what, where, when, why, how, yes, it's plausible that there was the explosion, the material exploded. At the same time, the explosion could be a diversion. Just a thought.
Well, you've seen that the Redead are focused directly on the monastery and attack on a daily basis. So
well, that's the origin point of the necrotic outbreak, so it's very well plausible that they're just drawn home, if you will, to these signals that were received.
The homing beacon?
More or less.
Well, this is all just speculation right now. And
yes.
Telepathically, obviously not out loud, we're not getting any more information out of these people. They are obviously not interested in talking.
Well,
we're going to have to investigate our next point.
Telepathically. The crap.
At this point, I'm going to come out so what did happen here? What caused that crater? Because seems to be the center point of everything that's happening now. What did you guys do?
We're told the materia exploded.
Yeah, but they're not giving details, and obviously they have to know something. So you want us to either risk our lives one way or the other.
It's true.
Bird.
Cat.
You may make me persuasion.
Hey!
So you say that, and the paladin side to the monk. The monk kind of gets this look of like, I don't know if we can trust them.
Right.
And the paladin goes, well, I don't know if I can trust you.
Oh.
The monk says, we all walk in the light. And the paladin goes, do not give me your canned answers. Now is not the time. The monk's like, I have nothing to say. You can see like he's like awkward and he feels uncomfortable and he starts to leave the room. He leaves the room. The Undin stops and looks at you and goes, I don't know all the details myself. I was not here. However, somehow this white stone was brought in by some of the monks. There are some of the lower level acolytes, or I'm sorry, they're kind of like juniors. They're like mid-level acolytes, but they've been known to be mischievous and problem children. We've often questioned their devotion. They brought in the white stone, and as they were carrying it across the courtyard, the answer that we've gotten, the most consistent, is that nothing happened. It just erupted on its own. Nobody was casting a spell or trying to do a ritual, but I don't necessarily believe that. Either everybody is really good at sticking to their story, or there's more at work here than we know.
Now, this is a place of Naruz. Could there have been some ancient protections or something worked into the grounds here that it could have come into contact with? I mean, I hear of this stone statue that just came to life recently.
Right. They could, and that was of one of the masters, right?
I forget.
They could have. The problem is, as a headmaster, he knows where the wards are and the protections are, at least all the ones that anybody. And there's nothing in the courtyard that should have triggered this.
Was there any type of failsafe that went off when this happened, or that you seem to notice?
There's acolytes that attend here.
There unfortunately was the middle of the night that these were brought in by these acolytes, and they there was 3 of them, and they all of their stories coincide that they literally were just bringing it in, and they were walking through the courtyard, and all of a sudden the stone started shaking. They set the stone down, the bag with the stone down, and it exploded. They were all launched back into the blast. They had their wounds on their backs and their heads were consistent with a force and being launched away from the center point. But this time, being the middle of the night, there is nobody else that's come forward as a witness.
What day did this happen?
Whatever day the stuff happened. Yes.
Tuesday.
Well, I'm so out of character, Brad. I'm tracking back to the middle of the night was the same time that the other stone was used on me to bring me back, right?
This was before that.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that had already been used by the time the stones arrived.
Okay.
Or at least that's what we've been told.
Just clarifying, running a thought that I'm trying to piece the timeline together.
Fill in the blanks.
But there were 3 originally, right?
3 stones. 2 taken to Casper. 1 was stolen away and brought here. This is the one that was stolen.
So 2 others were taken to Casper. I thought there was only...
One was used on you, and the other one went with the other group.
It's very well plausible that whoever stole materia contaminated it, I guess as it were, and used it to detonate and set off this reaction to reanimate But I'm curious too about what's going on in the mountains. Like obviously there's a threat here, but there's also something else that's going on in the mountains that's been indicated, and it seems they have things under control in the grounds.
Oh no, they definitely are not giving you the vibe. They have things under control. They're in for a fight. They're going to be under siege. That is more accurate. That's why they said if you want to take a group of acolytes and you would each be a squad leader with a group of like 10, like you'd have 10 or like 0 level clerics that would be under your command.
Fun. Just make them all use fucking sacred.
Against 5 to 10,000.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Increasingly difficult monsters.
Yeah, until the reanimated giraffe shows up and kills us. Oh, great. I just gave him the idea.
Oh, I've had that a long time ago.
I voted for heading north. I think I discussed that just before you got here, Chaz.
Okay.
I'm just toying this idea because we're in a place of Naru. Naru is the force for light and for life, right?
Well, light, yeah.
What is it? A force for life?
Not necessarily life, but it's good. It's light, darkness, and balance are the 3 gods in the world, if you will. So as a DM, I'm prepared for either way, both of which will advance the plot. It's just in 2 different ways. Now, if you guys are like, screw it, we're going to build a log cabin, there's not much I can do with that.
Well, no, apparently it's screw it, we're going to build a giant pyre. But
It's screw it, we're going to get killed by high-level monks and clerics.
Right?
I'm for investigating to the north. It seems more oriented, I thought.
Yeah, Chaz, do you want to weigh in? I think the rest of us are saying go north.
No, that's exactly what Canis is about too. Like, it sucks for them, but like,
Mic off.
there's fuckery to be had in the mountains.
Okay.
And we might be able to get answers and solve
Mic
problems
on.
with the Horde if there's outside forces working from this point. Maybe we can head of the snake.
I mean, we know that there are outside forces. We just
Right,
don't
yeah.
know how involved they are.
Mic
Okay,
off.
then it is, Unid says, then it is settled. You will investigate the shadow of the mountain while we maintain siege and sigil here. Hopefully whatever you find will aid us in our defense. For your efforts, he pulls out a small stone, and he hands it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reroll on a 6. He hands it to Dolphy. He says, this is basically a communication device. It'll work once. This will allow you to, it's a sending stone. It lets you use basically send a message back to us. Once you found out when you found something, you can send it back. Or if you guys are about to die, let us know that, you failed. Okay, that's out of character. That's not actually what I said, but.
Castle.
We didn't make it. Don't forget to resurrect us.
Forget
We're
to
coming
die.
for you.
Right. So,
All right.
he will give you a sending stone.
Yeah.
It's a one-way collect call.
There you go.
Just hand me a prepaid phone with pre-pro number.
Yeah, but you get crappy reception out there, guy. All right.
Cool.
So, they say that there are 2. Obviously, there's the safest but the most time-consuming would be basically taking like goat paths and winding back and switching back up and through and getting up to the crest and then walking back down and around the other side of the mountain. That would obviously be the safest for both travel, as you have outcroppings you could duck in case of weather. You can see which way you're going. It's more defensible. If you're looking for the fastest way, it's through basically the base of the River Tranquility, the river that runs from the mountains all the way down to Casper, or almost to Casper. That river actually flows through a crevice in the mountains to a lake that is on the other side of the mountain. If you were to traverse along the river, that would actually be the fastest way to get through the mountain range. It is dangerous terrain. Obviously, you're on a frozen river in a mountain range. but it is the fastest. By far. Like, immensely faster.
Danger's a thing, but I definitely think time is of the essence in this situation.
Well, you guys kind of just got your ass kicked last game, so I was trying to figure out what your like time versus I have so many hit points.
Right. Well, I mean that's also in character to everybody else.
No, I figured. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to hit the head.
I agree. Time is of the essence. We might need to.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we don't want to. As we're not staying to fight the army, there is still an army coming this way, and
we don't want to get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah,
there.
we don't want to be.
I'd rather not be here when it shows up.
Yeah, I don't want to be at top of the mountain midway through the mission when the monastery is destroyed. Well, now where do we go?
I don't right now feel quite as powerful as say Legolas or Gandalf. So fighting an army does not sound like an idea I want to do.
Not help Steve yet.
I'm not quite prepared to say they have an army, but we have a Hulk. So you know,
we don't have a Hulk yet.
No, not even close.
We barely even have a Hawkeye yet.
We don't even have like in-game Hulk.
Right? Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's true.
We don't even have anybody that can go back in time and kind of cause chaos.
All right.
But yeah, so
I agree with the whole let's do the scouting thing. Let's see what we can do to help them, but
still be kind of quick about it and kind of take the dicier. Maybe see if they have any suggestions for the dicier route, but still that direction.
Right. Emberly's only concern is if we're doing like traveling in the mountains and the cold stuff, she's really not set up for that kind of travel.
Well, they all got winter clothes and such before we left.
Yeah, that's right.
The monks have means of survival in the cold.
Right, I was just gonna say we definitely need a good sizable amount of trail rations and all that.
I mean, we did pick up all that stuff. We had a whole shopping episode.
Okay, good. All right, maybe I'm forgetting that, but I just want to make sure.
Winter clothes, so.
I have special boots that say "fuck the cold."
Oh yeah, you don't care about cold. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Boots of Winterland.
Yeah. So I think taking the quicker route. Want to ask the just Undun that's still with us because everybody else is kind of shuffled out of the room at this point. Does he have any suggestions for that path? Any tips for traversing the? They know this area more than we do.
Short of basic don't get wet / hypothermia stuff, he tells you that the waters themselves of the River of Tranquility are not peaceful, and that there are often creatures that have lived in the water that are the hunter, not the hunted. The fishermen are not the fishers of men, I think as they refer to them in their tongue, as opposed to fishermen. So do be careful of the actual water area. And besides that, they don't normally try that too much. They'll head a bit up the river to do fishing, but then they don't go too far out because they have no need to go to the other side of the lake because there's nothing over there. There's literally nothing on the mountains.
All right. That's fair. It's worth a shot.
Fair enough. So the other thing is, I doubt anybody. You guys all hit. Did anybody bother to update your characters on Roll20?
I've been working on that this whole time. So
I think spells and whatnot.
Yeah, spells are really rough. Important.
The big thing is just making sure you know what you're rolling.
Right. Yeah,
things if you
I've got all my stats and in there. I haven't updated macros or anything.
Oh, that's fine. As long as you've got your hit points and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, hit points I do.
So Undun basically says if there's nothing else, he has a war to prepare for, and he needs to go get his troops ready, being that the paladin will be the front line.
I think we're...
Nothing else I can think of.
At least not from him.
No.
Okay. So you guys are welcome to do any preparations you want. You know that the army will be setting upon this place at nightfall because they're at the base of this mountain. So if you want to get out of here with army walls, you'll want today.
Yeah, let's get out. Quick.
Let's Vominos.
Mic off.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, short of us not having potions, which we already established they don't have, plus they're set for war, so let's head out before the army shows up.
So you guys are all
My
rested,
God.
you're spelled up, you're ready to go, and you're going to head north. Basically, you're going to head along the goat path around the backside of the monastery, and you're going to go about an hour down along in the cracks and shadows until eventually you'll come along the side of the river. Out there, you can tell that the walls have been war-torn and beaten. You can see places that graves, just rocks in the side of the mountain, have been opened and that re-dead had come out and have heads been slain. Places where animals that have died and decomposed have come back. Eventually, as you start coming through, you start hearing almost an echo of a sound. It's almost like a vibration in the air. And as you get closer, you can tell that it's echoing through the chasms. The air gets crisper and colder because of the movement of the water. It's got a constant draft and breeze coming through the area. You can just feel it biting at you. Chaz is fine. Everybody else is like, ooh, that's pretty chilly.
It's a little cold.
It's a little cold.
It's cold.
So first thing as you get to the edge of the path is literally going to come out. And it's going to be a straight drop along cliff face, and the river carves a canyon through a mountain. And it is sheer rock. It's climbable rock. Not easy, but it is climbable rock. And it's probably about 100 feet tall. You're 80 feet. There's a 20-foot drop. It's not Whitewater Rapids, but it is... And there are actual chunks of ice. And I mean... by large, by 35 that you could stand on. They might wobble a little bit, but they're large. And they're actually flowing down the river to the south. And you need to head north. So you have a couple options. You could climb down and hop on the ice and walk across the ice and make jump from jump. You can Frogger it, or you can climb along the rock face. There are parts where it does level out into small paths. Or you could attempt to climb up to the top of the chasm and walk, but you can tell that there are points where it's even higher, and it's all snowy, so you could slide either way. So you need to figure out how you're going to traverse this river. Well, I'm sure you would have been told if you're going to be,
has taught me anything else. We just got to jump all the way up the mountain, and we'll make it to the top.
Just spam the jump button, get a horse that can go at like pure 90-degree angle.
Right.
If you want to roll me 500 athletics checks, that would be great. No.
Right.
So your options are to go down along the river, climb along the mountainside and take advantage of the different outcroppings and paths that you can, or try and go up to the actual snow caps and go that way.
Well, we weren't warned of like the water people not too long ago.
They're just telling you that if you go, that there are things they refer to as fishers of men that can live in the water as you get farther north. You do know it's going to be a couple hours of travel along the river. At this point, the river is all broken up.
Right.
Like it's flowing water, but as you got farther north, it gets cold.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't really do running water, so maybe let's stay up.
Emberly doesn't do running water, climbing mountains, There's a lot of
Snow,
things that relate.
cold, outside,
dirty water.
Better off listening what she actually does do than what she doesn't do in terms of events.
So I just look over at you guys and be like, "You guys want me to drop your rope?"
That's an option. I have pretty good proficiency with climbing now that I have also gloves of swimming and climbing.
Yeah, I'm pretty decent at climbing myself.
You have a climb speed,
Yeah.
Tabaxi?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to make checks, guy. You just climb.
Yeah.
Right.
I can get around. So yeah, we could set up rope for those.
That's kind of why I set it up this way, because you got one that can care about swimming, and then Emberly and Sethrek.
Right.
So yeah, if we kind of just want to plot
Split party!
climb straight across.
No, we will not.
One swim, one climb, one fly, and the other two stay here.
And one of them try to melt the ice.
Yes.
Right. I can shoot firebolts at like farther up and cause more of the snow to come down. Then we have less snow to deal with up there. No?
I mean, sure.
Okay. So
Right.
do we just want to kind of climb from flat space to flat space and using our rope to help those that can't climb? I mean,
You
there's
said
a
it's
good
about
number.
you said it's about 100 feet up that the climb
80.
80.
It's 80 from here. It's 100 total from the top of the cast.
So like if you guys could get all the way up there, you guys could just send a rope down and pull me up.
Yeah.
And therefore, I don't make a check at all because that's. I mean.
Really, he says. So that's an option. Not a good one, per se.
Well, the other option is also not good.
This is up to you guys.
Looking across, so you say there's like broken path, flat spot, kind of just along at this height.
So in a straight walk, it would be about 3 hours, you figure, to get around on this river. You will have spots where there are actual like rock outcroppings you could rest on, or paths of rock where it'd be easy to walk. But there are parts where it's straight up cliffhanger. Like you might even have to do the swinging jump from one rock to the other.
All right.
So it would not be consistent 3 hours of this, but there's definitely some tough jumps. But there's also parts where you could get onto one of those big chunks of ice, and it could be 40 feet to the next big chunk of ice. Now, you do have a bird, but that will assist in both of those situations. I took that into account when I designed this. My new job gives me plenty of thinking time as I'm driving in and out of semi-trucks all day. I'm like, what do I do about the damn bird? Was exactly my thought.
That's a surprising. Yeah.
Well, I'm good with you. I mean, we go near the water, we got to worry about them. Go up. I mean, like you said, you can look along. It's not just all the way at that height. There might be more up. There might be chasms to cross.
But most of it will be walking and not climbing or dealing with things coming out of the water to eat us.
Right, that's a good point.
So, I pull out a rope, I find a rope, and I take off.
That doesn't mean there's not going to be possible threats on,
Flat ground?
up on the rocks too. Just saying.
On flat ground?
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're like on an area that we could defend her.
That's not going to tip over and plunge us all into the element.
Yeah.
No promises.
Cliffs? Things fall off cliffs.
Rocks fall, everyone dies, that sort of thing.
I have the
We're
rock
at the
community
top of the
feat.
mountain.
Wait,
Helmet of
that's
rock.
not a thing. rock immunity feat. That's really good. I need to color that. All right, so we're going to attempt to climb along the rock face. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
So I need exact details of how this is going down.
No, we're going up on top.
I'm
Like
just gonna start. I'm gonna start rolling a new character right now. 'Cause this is not gonna go well.
I think the moon was heading straight up to get us on top of the rock face.
So you're trying to get to the top. Okay.
Yeah, I drop a rope.
I mean, I would have just said climb along the sides, but each their own, I guess.
Okie dokie.
Climbing along the sides requires checks every turn.
This is going to require checks too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is up on top. This is walking, not scaling a wall.
Well, up on top, it is still quite angled, but it is literally mountaintop. You don't know how deep the snow is. You know what I mean? That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I can fly.
You can fly. You can fly. That is correct.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds because that's the one place I didn't think.
That's the one thing.
It's literally, I'm like, they're not going to go up there where it's certain death.
Right.
They're going to take their chances with the
Don't
water.
worry. I'm already making a new character. It's okay.
So my real life campaign has made the comment so many times about having backup characters, and I actually killed one, and he had a backup come in an hour later in the same session, that I made the rule that they get one backup. And if they kill two, they have to wait until one's resurrected or they're out of the campaign.
Wow. That's
And
rough.
Well, the point is if they eventually TPK through what would be 16 characters, we start a new campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give me 2 seconds to upload your death.
I mean,
You will appreciate this map. It is actually real drone footage from Sweden.
Sweet.
The guy who does Dynamic Dungeons lives in Sweden, seeing he's got a 4K drone, and he actually started taking. He just went to like Madagascar or something for his honeymoon, and he took tons of footage of the ocean. So he's doing a whole ocean set. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
damn.
Nice.
Oh, wait, somebody just lost a leg. Hold on.
I can't. I haven't been paying attention.
It's fine. No, I don't have a problem with it. I just thought it was hilarious. Wait, somebody just lost a leg.
Somebody just lost a leg. Yeah, I don't know who, but
All right, so you need 80 feet of rope. What are we doing?
Taking all our ropes and playing it.
Taking out 2 50-foot ropes is what he says.
Are they 250s? I thought they were 100s.
They're
they're
50s.
50s. They're always
Oh.
50s.
And then trusting our livelihood on the rope tying skills of the bird.
Yes, who's tying the rope?
I would suggest have the Tabaxi.
Yeah, I can take a stab at the knot tying.
Rope tying is a survival check.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm confident.
Yeah.
I got a +3.
Grabbing the ropes and tied them up. As you grab your end and
Sure.
take off. Just tie my rope to the other end of yours.
Why did I
don't
not
need
pick
it.
up Featherfall?
I don't know. It's on you.
You can go down to the water if you don't want to fall very far.
Right.
Or you could have stayed back at the monastery with the army.
Yeah, that was a bad idea too.
Well, yeah, it's only 10d6.
Only 10d6.
Right.
You know, if it's been damaged, you should still be alive.
Okay. So
Technically, if you fall in the water.
That's not gonna happen.
why are you guys like your character sheets don't have hit points and everything? Candace, what's your hit point total?
Why isn't it? That should be 24.
Oh, it was blanked out on your token for some reason. And Amberly,
23.
Wait. Okay, and let me pull Sethrak onto the map. Sethrak at 23?
30.
Are we level 3 now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been on level 3.
Yeah, just remember you were able to roll the dice. If you did not get it, you take the average.
Yeah, average or better. Spirit.
At 30.
Yeah, I gotta update your character sheets on here are not up to date. And Tenacity.
That's on mine.
What's your new hit point total, Zach? It's 5 or whatever you roll.
8 plus con, so 28.
Oh, look at me. I rolled max. I'm calling shenanigans.
I did roll max. I've rolled a d20 first and got a 9. Then realized that it's not a d20.
All right, so...
Wish it was a d20.
I was like, wait, that doesn't...
D20 hit die?
Dolphy, you feel confident in your knot tying ability. You're like, I have a tail. It gets tied into knots. I know this works. So you tie some knots, and you basically get a nice, like, lasso rope thing around. Now, here's the fun part. Birdman.
Mm-hmm.
Birdman, you have a strength of 10. Okay. So if I go back over to sources, player's handbook.
Wait, are we doing encumbrance now? I didn't know
We're not doing encumbrance, but we're going to do how much can this guy pick up and fly off with?
Got it.
Although if all he's doing is unspooling, he's not actually grabbing the weight of the... So he's only lifting at max height the... 80 feet of rope.
Okay, he's pulling up on the rope, but he's not, like, helicoptering the person to the top. The person is climbing, and he's just helping?
I think once he gets there, he can at least anchor into the ground. Plus, I can just climb, and...
You can climb. I'm not worried about you, and I'll let you survive.
All right, so hold on. Before we get too far into this...
Emberly's like, hold on.
Look, I don't... This whole idea is... I'm just not liking it. So, how about we do this? No rope. Everybody just get into the bag of holding. The Birdman fly us up there. We'll be okay.
In the bag of holding?
Because it's not going to take more than a minute. It's technically, well, not everybody, but he can do trips. It's like 10 minutes. It's like a minute per person or something like that. It actually has breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures, minimum of 1 minute.
You can't fit in the opening. It won't go past your hip bones. You're sick. The 3 C's.
What?
I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, like a bag of holding is not have an opening large enough for a creature to fit in.
That's not what it says here.
That's what he's ruling.
I'm telling you, a bag of holding does not have a...
Damn it! That was a good workaround, Brad.
Oh, no, it's fine. That would have killed you, so you're welcome. Also, Zach, you have a total... I'm not going to make you add all of your equipment, but you have a total carrying capacity of 150 pounds. So that's everything you're carrying plus the person plus everything they're carrying. The reason why I'm telling you this is if you are trying to helicopter, even if you're just assisting them and giving them advantage on their climb check, and they fall, they're going to pull you. Just so you're aware. Now, Dolphy could climb to the top and anchor it in, and I'll let him use that same survival to put his pitten in and to get the rope in so they can have the rope. What having a rope does is it decreases dramatically the DC of the climb check. They can still fall. Okay. Also, in case, I'm going to give you a freebie. Never tie a rope around your waist when you're climbing, because if you fall, you break your spine. Don't do that.
Tie a climber's harness.
Yeah, unless you have a climbing kit.
Which I think we might have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Those are expensive. I doubt it.
I don't know. I think we might have bought that when we bought all the other stuff.
Hey, Chaz, does your gloves give you climb speed?
Yes, or rather, climbing and swimming don't cost extra movement. I gain +5 on athletics when.
Nice, even better. So you still have to make checks, but you have a much better check and move at normal speed.
Yeah, I basically have a plus. Oh no, that's acrobatics. Yeah, I've got a +6 right now for climbing.
Okay. So I leave it to y'all, and I need my handy dandy table of how hard is it to climb things. Individual treasure, exhaustion, resting. I thought there was a climb check on here. Damage, critical hits, tools and trade. A climber's kit was 25 gold pieces.
Yeah, we don't have that. I already looked at my. I don't have it unless somebody else does.
Nope, I do not.
I would not need a climber's kit.
At this point, I'm like, damn, I wish I had a climber's kit. They're also 12 pounds.
Well,
12 lubs.
I could put it in my bag of holding. I'm not worried about the weight. And to be honest,
I could put it in my bag of holding because I'm
to be honest, I could probably put the rope and let the Birdman have the rope when he goes up there to tie it, so he's not having to worry about that. But I don't know how are we doing it. You were talking about something about helicoptering us up there. I don't know how
I was
about
just
that.
I was just giving up.
Because I would be fine with Dolphy going up there and tying it, and then.
I mean, let's just get it tied off and go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically Dolphy's going to climb up and pin it down.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we're going to climb.
Okay, so a free hanging rope climb with no little footholds is going to be a DC of 15. A vertical free climb with hand and footholds, rope climb with a wall using for feet and legs. Okay, so you would have a wall for your feet that you can put your feet in and you rope climb. So it's going to be a DC of 10. That's a suggested one. With the ice, I'm going to make the DC of 12 because it's slippery and the cold and the wind. Now, the DC is going to be 12 and you're going to make a check every 10 feet? Give me 2 seconds.
I'll never make it up there.
Should just go in your bag of holding.
It's difficult terrain, so it costs double. You're going to make the check.
Isn't it?
You'll make the check for each movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you have a speed of 30, you're going to move 15 feet up, and you're going to make a check. 15 feet up, make a check. So 15, 30, 45, 60. You'd have to make 5 checks.
Or can't you dash with it?
Oh,
Quote unquote dash.
So you'd make. We're going to give you 2 checks. Dolphy, I need perception and disadvantage before we start.
Brad, you could make it if we dash, the DC goes up.
No, dash, you're just taking your time to move twice.
All right.
Ouch.
Okay. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with
Rope secure.
who's going first. The bird's just flying, so
I'm already up on top.
So does the bird get a perception too if he's up here with me?
you're up on top, and Bird can make normal perception because he's just probably up a little bit more. You can tell that getting up here, the wind is really, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I will message you. Okay. So, you guys, you're up there. You're checking the pit, and the bird is kind of scouting up there. Who's going to climb up first?
Would it make sense for me to go first?
Do you want to climb up, or do you want to stay down On the bottom to catch the falling dead.
Now I'll catch the falling dead.
Bam! Get up. Try again.
He'll just spare the dying.
Try again.
As they're falling by, spare the dying.
Yes, precisely.
I'm not dead yet. Okay, spare the dying. Good news is when they hit the water or the ice, you're going to be at least 60 feet to spare the dying. All right, so who's going first?
Amberly. Ladies first.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, if you're gonna die, you might as well get it out of the way.
Can't we, like, aren't there, like, strong people up there? Can't we do, like, the Andre the Giant thing where he, like, pulls Princess Bride up the fucking cliff?
We're not that strong.
No.
Andre the Giant has like an 18 or 20 strength. We're not there yet.
I'm at a 16, but I don't think I'm pulling
Alright,
you up.
fine. Well, let's do it, I guess. First check, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, here goes. Athletics, -1. There you go. How about that?
You get nowhere.
Good news is it's not a critical fail. Bad news is it's still bad enough that you climb up.
So I could have moved. Well,
Fall on
30
your
feet.
butt.
You to move 30 feet, up to 30 feet. So I'm going to roll a d3 to see how high you made it. You slip. That would be 10 feet. So you are going to, with that low and that, I mean, you literally hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, wait.
Boom.
You may make a miracle dexterity savings throw 18 to grab the rope at the last second to not take fall damage as you fall.
Spare the dying.
That was pretty
Okay.
freaking awesome.
As you fall, you hook your foot into that, and you do you basically go into a stripper routine as you spin around the rope, and you flail around, and you hang around, and then you land and you slide across the ice right at Sethrak's feet, looking up at him with big eyes.
This is not a good idea. This is a terrible idea. Oh, somebody else want to try first?
Fine. I'll see what I can do. Huh? That's not bad.
Hold on. Okay. Nope, that'll do. That'll get you up. That's 30 feet. That'll get... Dude. That's fairly... 2 18s in a row. That's 60 feet. You need one more to get up and over. And a 7. DC 12. That is failed by 5 on the button. Ben, high or low?
Low.
I rolled a 4. So you start to climb up and you slip and you just slide back down to where you were. You don't fall. You get your hold again. So you can make another check. That's literally 7s on the button. 6 or less total, you're losing grip. Okay. Ben, you pop up and you kind of dust yourself off. You're like, that sucked. You look down, you're like, oh. The other thing that all three of you, since you're all looking around, I won't make you roll another perception, is you look, and from this point you can see up the river. As the farther north you get on the river, the more solid it becomes, till eventually it looks like farther up it does become solid ice. So Canis is not up there yet. The bird is up here. The cat is not. Sethrak is up. Okay.
The cat is up.
The cat is up. That's what I meant. Sorry. All right. So who's going next?
I'll go again.
Well, discussion. I was gonna say discussion.
Amberly taps into her inner badass Xena warrior princess.
Go.
She's like, all right, I think I got this. I'm doing okay. It's only DC 12. I got this.
Right.
She gets up 30 feet.
Yeah.
She gets up 60 feet. She's like, all right, I'm getting it. I can do it. I can never do it in gym class, but I can do it here. She doesn't fall, but she doesn't progress. She starts to get... So Emberly gets to 60 feet, and she starts to go, and she looks down. And she freezes, like, what was I thinking?
Oh, okay.
And then she taps in, and she goes, all right, I'm going to give it let's try.
One more time? Nope.
And
Nope.
you're going to want to spare the dying.
Spare the dying.
Emberly, 60 feet in the air.
Saw it coming.
Do you want to tell him the ice might be an option?
Bird. Bird is kind of flying above watching, and you see Emberly to fall. You have a fly speed of 50. Are you going to attempt to try and grab her on her way down? She is not grabbing the rope this time. She is falling, and she is falling out over the river.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll dive.
Okay, you are going to make a unarmed. Luckily, you're a monk. You're going to make a grapple with, but at this distance and speed, it's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay, so how do I initiate a grapple?
Well,
Just a
grapple
strength?
it's a
Athletics or acrobatics check.
against
Okay.
mine?
Going to be against basically your touch armor class, which is going to be 10.
Right. Oh.
All right, the 24 work.
Well, you said at disadvantage, right?
Oh, yeah, my bad. The 17 will also... Okay, so, Emberly...
And with this, just to lay this, I know my limitation. How much does Emberly weigh, bro?
That's what I was just going to... Hey, Slim Fast Jenny Craig over there. How much did... On your character sheet, what does it say for your weight?
I put it in there. Hold on, let me get there.
I know you would have.
You
I know
did.
you would have.
You know. 105 pounds.
Ah, how much gear are you carrying?
Not really much at all. Everything's
Not
in my
a car.
bag of holding. So it's just clothes.
Okay. I'm going to give you two options on a split-second decision, Zach.
Mm.
With the weight and the momentum, you are not going to be able to straight up pick her up and fly off.
Right, which is I was already thinking that.
But you could definitely steer her and throw her back on, or you can try and slow down, and basically shove her over, or you can grab her and try and buffet your wings before you hit the water to come to a stop. The question is, do you want to give a softer but guaranteed landing on the ground, or a possible 0 damage, you have control over the water?
Quick estimate of what the damage would be if we do ground.
Ground. Ow. Ice. That's what you get. This is
Water.
1 second.
She gonna go swimming again.
Okay. You are attempting to not splash, and you are going to make me an athletics check. This is straight up wing buffet power.
Oof.
I have good news and bad news. The good news is you are going to slow your... Not going to roll damage for either of you hitting. The bad news is you both wet. You grab her and she sploosh. We'll get back to hypothermia in a second. Anybody else want to take a
I'm not worried about hypothermia. Boil water around me.
I think as soon as I saw the bird dive and realized that Emberly is falling and they are hitting, I am coming back down quickly and descending all the way.
And again.
So
you're doing...
The tabaxi is heading all the way down to the water now to try and assist.
You can go 80 feet with a dash action and your increased speed. So that'll get you down to the base of the ground, not the other 20 feet to the water, though.
Okay, but I've
Canis or Sethrak,
Mm-hmm.
do you have an action?
Spare the dying. I think in order, I would just, if I could, pre-position myself to try and catch.
Yeah, it's less. They were out 10 feet into the water. So
So 10 feet into
It was
the water.
it was less. It was 2 squares off the edge of the cliff. And I thought you were gonna say preposition like a trauma center and like bonfire and get your head.
Nah, not that cool. Not that cool.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Yeah, there's like if I can't reach them, I mean, there's no point in me really diving in to try and save them. I mean, I could because I have swim speed. But that just seems a bit ridiculous.
All right.
I need to message Ben then.
Because how far down is it to the water?
From where you're at, 20 feet.
So, Everly, how good can you swim, or how well?
That's athletics, and you know.
Not the same as she climbs.
Right.
You know, I should just do nothing for payback for when you just decided not to get your poo grass and your fucking.
Sit there and
No,
debate about
I
it
went
for
to
30
find
minutes.
help.
Okay, so hold on. What's Ben critting?
Nothing.
Okay.
Perception.
You do not see this roll,
Okay.
He's the only one on top of the cliff.
On top of the
which
cliff,
means
okay.
I am now probably screwed.
Probably. Because I'll dive in after you, try and save you, but
Yeah, about that.
Aren't you wearing heavy armor though?
yep,
You should probably not do that.
I ain't no bitch.
You should probably not do that. He has a reason. Still. All right. So, anyways, my question is: were you diving in or no? You do realize that you have a ring, but you also sink like.
Right. I sink like a rock. That's not gonna be.
Okay, that's enough. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Sorry.
Zach and Bert to avoid a level of exhaustion.
Fun.
Get all the crappy rolls now.
Numbers.
First level exhaustion's not terrible.
What?
It's bad for ability checks, though.
Yeah, it's no good there.
So I guess we're gonna rest again.
No. We should have just climbed the high.
Yeah, about that resting.
We gotta go like a full day.
Okay, so Bert, you're fine. Zach, the cold water hitting you sucks. You are going to take 1 level of exhaustion.
Not too bad. Could be worse. Could be better.
Now, it technically says, like, if you're in a normal cold weather, it's every hour you have to make a save. But if you're immersed in water, we know hypothermia is a lot worse when you're. So it's going to be every minute.
Mhm.
So, now that you've made those saves, you guys can attempt to swim to the shore. That's going to be an athletics check DC 16 to swim against the current.
What if we try to go with the current to get to something?
Right.
Instead of going against the current.
Okay, you will not be able to get to the shore where they are. You'll be able to grab solid rock face and have to climb up on rock out of the water as opposed to being underneath where they are. That'll only be a DC 12 to get to the shore.
Oh, a DC 12.
I'm up on the ice floes.
While they're doing this, I am getting off the top quickly.
Make your athletics checks to come down. Roll 1. Okay, you're good.
And how far does that get me?
That gets you 30 feet.
So,
So you have 50 feet down to the cliff to the landing, or
Crit.
you Bert, like back into his stripper mode. Emberly, where were you swimming over to the cliff face?
Yeah, no, I would have tried to go back to, because I wouldn't gone to the cliff face because that means I gotta climb again. I'm not climbing.
Okay, so Bert basically climbs up, swims over, and does synchronized swimming style, like popping out like a fish, and then you leap out of the water like Ariel onto the land, like, and then you're like, oh, it's cool. Ben, you start climbing down and you lose your grip, but you do not fall. You just happen to basically stop and have to reestablish yourself. You may make another check. You have not gained any faith. Okay, you're back down. You're 20 feet above the landing. Make one more to land safely.
I'm just teleporting down the last.
He's like, nope, I'm done. Is that like a psi point type thing?
Yeah, just one psi point for 20 points of movement. Then that's it for my move.
Okay, and Ben's like, let's go. The rope just goes slack. Bird, you need to swim.
I tried. I'm just trying to go with the current to get over.
Okay, so you managed to go with the current, but it actually another from the rock. You start swimming and you're moving with it, but it like an ice flow comes across it. Crap. So you're now 15 feet away and you've moved 10 feet downstream.
So is there an ice thing that I can climb onto?
You can attempt to climb out onto the ice while moving. It is a 15 DC to climb because it tips and it's slippery.
I see where he's at in the river.
Yeah, he is 15 feet out and 10 feet down.
Can I try and jump on an ice block?
Yeah, can I hop or get to him and try and help him pull him out of the water?
Okay, so now we're back down to playing Frogger. Yeah. So you are going to attempt to jump 20 feet down and land on a moving block of ice. Wet ice.
Can I climb the rest of the 20 feet down and get to... Do I have to go from this point to get...
You can. So you start to climb down the rock, and you see the bird pull himself up onto an ice floe. And he's like, wings are all spread out and soaked wet, and he's like,
oh. I'd have kept climbing.
How far away is he from me at this point?
20 feet down, 15 feet out, and 10 feet downriver.
All right. Well, that's close enough. I'm going to create a bonfire next to him.
On the ice?
Okay, so a bonfire pops up next to you on the ice. The ice floe cracks in half.
I'm not gonna put it directly on the ice. It doesn't have to. It can actually hover. It doesn't have to actually. It's magical fire. It's not like suddenly.
But is it attached? But is it attached to the ice, or is it stuck in that square?
I don't think you can float the bonfire. It says on the ground that you can see within range.
Yeah.
So you can't float it, guy. It's sitting on top of the ice floe.
Well, then I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it on the ice floe. That would be dumb. I was figuring it would be just kind of...
I shake it off.
Again there.
I shake it off. Shake it off.
Mm-hmm. And it's only a DC 10 athletics check to stand back up, and then you can fly away.
How far am I from the nearest other person?
No, this can be an acrobatics check to stand up, right?
No.
Balance on this?
Fine.
That's dex, right?
Fine. Yeah, you should be able to stand up easily. Fine. Okay. So you stand up and you fly away. You are standing directly next to Canis and Amberly at this point. Sethrek.
Alright. So, guys, we really need to go. Now and fast.
Go where?
And not up.
And not up, right.
And as you look up, I assume that will cause Canis and Emberly to look up.
Oh, yeah.
And I just missed Canis with a 17 as a snowball 5 feet in diameter is flying out of the fist of a giant standing at the top of the cliff and he just missed. Lands behind.
Like I said, we got to go. Anywhere that is not here.
So that's what those footprints were.
Now he says.
I assume I would.
Good news is if you kill a frost giant, you could traverse across the top pretty easy. But it is a frost giant near the third level.
Yeah.
We just have to make it fall off the cliff.
Right.
Easier said than
Right.
I mean,
No
I
problem.
have some tricks up my sleeve, but that's gonna be hard.
Take the rope, whip it up on his arm, and just...
Tabletop him.
Right.
I mean,
that's gonna happen.
With your party, you mathematically could kill this thing, but it will hit really, really, really hard. By the way, it's got that boulder has a +9 to hit, and it did 4d10 plus 6 damage.
only 4d10.
Yeah, that would
Just so you know how much like the impact of the ground behind you. Yeah, that is its rock.
So we gotta bounce.
Yeah.
We're taking the river path whether we want to or not. Let's
yeah,
go.
Stick to river path.
All right.
I mean, that's all we can
So
do.
now you have to do the river path quickly, as opposed to getting a rope or having the bird fly over there and hold one throws for you. You now have a frost giant. So we're going to go in my camera order of you all can take an action, and then I'll go. And we're going to just kind of circle around, and when I go, I get to throw a rock at somebody. And I'm going to roll randomly to see who I'm targeting at a +9 to hit. Well, it's with disadvantage because it's range 6240, so he's just out of range. But Bird, you're first.
So, how far down am I now?
You're standing up. You'll be 20 feet away from them. 20 feet down, 15 feet out, and 20 feet away. You're 50. It's a 50-foot.
It's 50 foot to get to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
From being up on top, is it like flat in this whole area coming back down the river too, or does it drop off?
Okay, I need you to explain that again.
So the top. So we went up there and tied the rope. Up top there, coming down the river, does it drop off at all, or does it continue flat up there?
The river's flat, pretty much. I mean, there's a little bit of this, but it's pretty...
Up top.
Up top? Oh, it's an angle, but it kind of goes up and down with hills. Not like bad.
So
it's flat enough that, I mean, there's not enough that I'm going to make you have, like, you're not fighting like this. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm checking is he's up on top. Is there any point where he'd get stuck and couldn't follow us back down the river, or is it this going to be the same both ways?
No, there's definitely parts where he goes up into cliff walls, and you just need to get away from this area, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So onto the
translation. Escape.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm debating whether to go back downriver or go forward.
No, down the river. It's further from the giant, and we already have experience in the
upriver.
water.
You want to keep moving forward. We're going, not back. Don't regress.
We don't want to go back
Okay.
to the monastery. We want to continue.
That's what I was questioning.
Yeah, no. If you go upriver and keep going, it gets more solid. You'll get out of his range, and he'll eventually not be able to follow you. Right now, it's a use your brains and make some checks to try and get away from there's vice. I honestly think you guys could have killed this thing.
Sure, if we weren't
not down here.
A cliff, do it.
And it wasn't you rolling against Canis.
Right.
That's the first time you've missed him.
I rolled an 8.
I mean, if we had all been up top together, we could have taken him.
Yeah, three of you, and Candace could have got up there easy, but all right. Good job, Emberly.
We cannot trickle this.
Hey, you know
Good
what?
job, really.
You had one job.
She's a wizard.
All right, so anyways, Bird, you have an action. It's your turn.
So it's 80 feet to the top of the edge.
From where you're at, 100 to where the guy is, 104. You're here. They're here. He's here.
Okay.
and you're going this way. Standing on an ice floe 15 feet out in the river, 20 feet away from the landing that they're standing in, 20 feet below them.
So if I flew up the wall and kind of hung on to it, would I be somewhat obscured from the giant's line of sight?
You could. Can you hover?
That's a debatable thing. It's up to DM's discretion. Realistically, it doesn't say that you can't. So
yeah.
But unlike the beholder, it literally says hover underneath it.
So basically, I think the way that they rule is you can maintain, but you have to have the space to be able to move.
Right.
Kind of thing. So you can't be off the ground in a box with no space to move around.
He's not.
But I mean, if I can take off from the ground. But if I can take off from the ground, it's kind of like a bird.
Right.
Birds can kind of take off, but they can't just. I'm going to maintain exactly perfectly level in no space with no ceiling or with a ceiling and everything kind of idea.
Unless you have, according to Sage Advice, specifically in your block, you must maintain at least 5 squares, or you must maintain movement in 5 square intervals to not fall.
Mm-hmm. And
you cannot stand still, and you cannot hover in midair unless you have the.
Right.
It actually uses Beholder as because Beholder can just sit here.
Right.
You have to keep moving. You can do a 5-foot circle.
Right. That's why I was like, I have to have space to.
Yeah, you're fine. Like if you want to fly up, kind of hang out along, kind of try and staying out of sight. Yeah, he'd have a really hard throw at you if that's what you're asking for.
Well, I'm saying, could I just fly up and then grab on the wall and tuck in?
You can make a climb check, and that's all I'm going to tell you because that's taking far too much long to calculate things in the middle of combat.
I will fly up, just limit my movement. I want to stay below the top of the ridge by 10 or 15 feet and just try to find a spot that's mostly obscured from him.
Okay, you fly up, Ben?
Okay, Is there a spot 60 feet away that I could stand on?
Out in the river? Or
sure.
Yeah, there's ice. There's large chunks of ice out in the river. They're all pretty big.
All right, so I'm just going to burn 3 psi points and teleport 60 feet away.
Sethrak goes bloop, 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 bloop. Boop. Okay. Okay. We're going to give me 2 seconds. I'm going to draw a shape. I'm going to draw a red line here. Ooh. Freehand. So, I will switch you guys over. Alright, so you're going to teleport out into an ice flow. I'm going to need a DC 5 acrobatics check just because you're landing on ice from a teleport. Just to make sure you, stick the landing. Okay, you're fine. Better safe than sorry. Movement is difficult terrain on the ice flows. It does require you to move 2 for 1 without falling or making a check. You can move at normal speed with a DC 15 acrobatics check to try not to fall prone. If you fall prone, momentum will keep you sliding. When you get to the edge, as in any square that is touching water, you must make that DC 12 check to stop you from tipping or sliding into the water, because the whole thing will do this, unless you have weight on it. And we'll handle that in a case-by-case situation. And by that, I will show you. I need to find where you are. You guys, yeah, I know. Now you're here now.
Hey.
So, let me select move.
That's so much better.
So the bird is actually off screen. The cat is up here. Canis is up here. And Amberly is up here.
I went my last action was all the rest of the way down to the river. Okay,
so you're here hanging onto the edge. That red line is 20 feet up.
Okay. Yeah.
If you get to
he got out.
If you get to the right edge of the map, you are out of sight. That's basically get there safely.
All right.
Bird is actually off screen at this time. All right, so we'll go to Canis.
Yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to jumpity jump. So let me hit you with that acrobatics bonus.
So you're making a serious jumpity jump.
Yeah, why not?
Here's the rope.
Where is it?
Oh yeah, I don't have my rope anymore.
See?
Oh, Canis is like, yo. Sticks the landing right there. Sethra kind of balances out a little bit. Bert?
Mic on.
All right, so sorry for the kids getting loud. Let's see here. I guess I'm gonna just try to double speed over there. I guess I could try to do an acrobatics thing. Try to, like Chaz did. Why not?
You're gonna try and jump down?
Yep. Do some fancy moves.
All right, bust out those tripper moves. Let's go.
Boom.
All right, so you jump off and you land, but as you land, you very much Iceman superhero slide, and actually to here because as he jumps in, you time it to where Sethrak's weight counterbalances, and you hit it. And
Nice.
You're very, very Elsa-ish. Okay, and then we're gonna go to Dolphy.
All right, so I'm just gonna. I say that's the closest direction to the ice.
Yeah, and yours is a pretty easy DC to just literally.
Yeah. So moving, and then
athletics or acrobatics to just jump basically off the wall to there. That's enough. I was looking for a 10.
Yep, and then just moving along with the group, and
you can make one more check, DC 10, to jump across, because that's just an easy jump. You're like claws grabbing to the edge, like, oh.
Don't get wet, kitty.
My turn. Don't have line of sight. Do have line of sight. He's going to aim out at odd, Emberly, even Sethrak. That's an 8. He's going to aim at Sethrak. We'll actually roll in here. Plus 9. Roll to hit.
Well, I thought you had disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Good, I don't have to eat through my resources to make that not kill me.
All right. The boulder hits on the back end of the right behind Sethrak, causing an entire ice block to tip. Everybody on that block makes a DC 5 dexterity savings. Hold on. Dexterity savings throw to maintain their foot. Dolphy being on the edge, you make it with disadvantage.
Oh, Dolphy.
I have claws.
I don't care. You have boots.
Yeah, I probably honestly wouldn't be.
Your feet would be frozen then.
Toeless boots.
Oh, yeah.
No, Chad.
Chaz, good news and bad news. Bad news is you've fallen prone. The good news is it slides you the direction you wanted to go.
Yay.
But you're prone.
That's fine. There are worse things I could
Back up to the bird.
Okay, so how far away am I from the...
From the what?
From the giant. So I would have shot like up onto the wall. So I would have cleared most of the...
Like 80 feet.
Okay.
Mic off.
What the...
I'm really surprised you're not just going, whoa.
Don't overthink it. Just run away.
Yeah, I guess for now I'm just gonna double move.
Indiana Jones.
Fly away.
Yep, right about there. You're hanging. You're still about 10 feet below the cliff face, and you're hanging along, flying right underneath him. He's like, "Arr!" You see him packing another snow. Sethrak?
Well, I guess I'm just going to move.
Mic off.
It's only a DC 10 jump over that, over those cracks. So
I'm going to try to do a double move here.
30 feet.
Yep.
Or unless you want to try and do a double move while making checks, or you make two checks to keep your footing at normal speed.
Alright, so it's an acrobatics check to jump over.
Or athletics, DC 10 either way.
Yeah, let's go athletics.
Okay, so you're going at the slow speed, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 can get you out to about here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, Chaz?
So I'm going to stand up.
That's half your movement.
Yeah, which gets me then to here. And then where's the destination? Is it like...
You want to get to this edge of the map. Anywhere on this edge of the map is out of line of sight.
Okay, so then I can double move, and we'll just give a check to end up like here. Is that correct?
If you do normal speed movement, you're making DC 16 checks each 30 feet.
Oh, but then if I double
difficult
move,
terrain.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I follow. Now action dodge.
Action dodge at a guy.
Oh, and spare the die on the fish.
Dodge doesn't do you much good. He's already at disadvantage.
Right, that's what I was just gonna say.
I don't give a fuck. All right, because the next time he says he'd give me a dexterity saving throw, guess what? I have advantage on that throw.
That is true. That's true. As long as he sees it coming.
People. All right, I'm up here and you're down here.
Candace is humble. Bert, you're up.
All right. I guess I'll try to keep moving.
Fall in the water.
No, I don't want to fall in the water. Let's first roll. Continue with the acrobatic stuff, I guess. So, here we go.
Yeah, boy.
And then I'll keep moving, I guess. I don't know. I got 30, so total of 30, so I should be able to move about here, I think.
Yep. Okay, and then Dolphy?
We're just going to double move, so... 30 feet.
My turn. Emberly.
Oh.
Does a 14 hit?
Is that at disadvantage?
Oh, damn it. Does a 10 hit? That's a critical fail!
Yes!
He falls and dies.
Does he fall off the cliff?
Hold on. I gotta check his dex. -1 dexterity.
Please.
If we win this off of a critical fail, that is going to be epic.
Okay. He's falling off the cliff. That's not great.
That's not a great thing.
Underneath him.
odd he's landing on the thing that Candace is on. Even he's landing on the thing that Emberly is on.
Oh.
Even.
Oh boy. He's a tiny guy. He's not that big.
Hold on.
So 10d6.
He lands there. Okay, I'm going to do this we got a couple things we need to handle. First, I'm going to give him the damage for falling.
Yep.
High rolls.
Lots of damage.
Let's do
It's not
Candace
D6, I
level
thought it was
damage, or as in the damage he does to Candace normally.
Right? Let's see those crits.
I thought there was fall damage. Fall damage isn't D6s, is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's all D6s.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's a D6 per 10 feet up to 20.
Yep.
That was up to 10. It might be 20 now.
Up to 20.
Which one gets us more rolls of damage against this guy?
Ooh!
Good.
Some
Good
good
roll.
rolls!
We'll take it.
Is he bloodied?
How's he looking?
He's got to have a broken leg or a hip or something. Come on.
He is prone.
Okay.
Getting chilly? Yeah. It's not as smelly anymore anyway.
Okay. The ice that you're standing on cracks in the middle.
Of course it does.
And it starts to tip in, and everybody needs DC 15 dexterity savings to not fall prone and slide towards him.
On that rock.
On that rock. You guys just get some wavy action going.
Oh, Emberly.
Emberly, you're still there. You slide. You basically would run into a prone. So is he. And the water is up to about halfway up you because you're down dipping into the water on the ice.
Of course.
Then we go to the bird.
The bird gets excited. How far away am I?
You're 90 feet above him and 10 feet out.
I thought you were still in your lap.
It's okay.
I just hear this, like this soft, distant wow.
Poor baby.
I
Frost giant. Ow.
pull out my spear and start diving towards him.
Double move to get right above him.
No, I wanna be like 20 feet. Oh,
Okay.
Or I suppose I could throw a spear at him, huh?
He's prone. You technically have disadvantage.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, we'll go to Ben.
Alright, so let's see.
Like everybody's measuring. Like, okay, let's go gank the guy that's in the water.
Well,
So if I were to be
If you were to be
on
what?
the other side of the crack, would I be 10 feet away from him?
There you go. That is now a crack you have to jump over.
I don't know. I think I've got the reach to hit him still.
Yeah, no, you can hit him. He's in those squares. He's brought up. You can stab him in the foot.
So is he the 4 squares right there?
He's
So
6. He's a 3x2.
Okay, so
I'm going to do the full 3 side points to.
You're burning
Right.
all these resources.
Well, I don't want to get hit for 4d10
Okay.
and die instantly.
Okay. Snowballs weren't as bad as rocks, but yeah. I was only going to do 2d10 for snow.
Yeah, that's gonna miss anyways.
Roll to stab, and you stab right into his big, tough leather boot, and it deflects off because it's covered in ice. And then we move to Chaz. Bert, you're on deck.
Although, wait, he's prone. Isn't that advantage?
Advantage.
Yes. Even worse. Chaz, you're on deck.
Okay, so he's prone in the water?
So he's like on both, and it's cracked, and it's like in the water. Like he's overlaying one of the cracks.
Oh, okay, so he fell a crack. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he caused another crack.
For combat purposes, he's prone.
He is prone.
Okay, that changes what I wanted to do. So we'll just go ahead. He's been hit, correct?
He took 10d6
he took a bunch
damage.
of damage, yeah. What am I fucking talking about here? Let me just double check the text of this. Nope. We're just going to do this. So, DC 13 saving throw on Wisdom. He makes it, so that's it. Do I even want to move towards you guys? Fuck no.
You're like, no, I'm good.
I will move back a little bit just to kind of even out
the ice.
Yeah.
Good idea. All right, Bert, you're up. Dolphy, you're on deck.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, half of my movement, and then I'm going to try to move away from this, I guess. So here, maybe, to get out of the water. He's still prone, though, isn't he?
He is.
Mm-hmm. So I have disadvantage on range attacks.
Create a bonfire on top of him.
Thought about it. That's probably not a good idea.
It's almost like I'm taking all of Bert's toys away.
Yeah, is he really hurt though?
Yeah, I mean, he's hurt.
He's sad. See his aura rings. Is that working?
Yeah, he's like greenish.
Yeah,
he's not bloodied yet.
He's not bloodied yet.
No.
Okay.
The green circle underneath him is his health.
Yeah, he's a light green. It goes yellow when he's bloodied, I think.
Yeah. And
well,
then red when he's
I guess.
And take a shot with disadvantage. What's the worst thing you're gonna do?
Right.
Hit the bird. Hit the death rack. Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. Yeah.
Firebolt.
So, missed, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, Totes missed. And
it's not a crit fail.
It doesn't matter. The fire hit the ice and caused the crack. All right, and then Dolphy, and then I'm on deck.
All right. So
stop breaking the ice you guys are on. Like, that's just a bad
idea.
Well,
all right. So we're going to use feline agility.
You haven't not moved around yet.
I haven't used it yet.
You double moved down the cliff.
I physically double moved. I didn't feline agility gives me double move distance in a single move.
Right, but it was 80 feet down the cliff. You have a speed of 20. You doubled it, so you had 40. And
okay. I see where you used it then. So,
and you fell down the cliff.
In that case,
it's not like you can't move here.
Right, but
I mean,
I can't then do anything, so I'll just get up there and sit.
Okay, you have Sentinel. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
He is going to use his movement to stand up. Big enough. Dexterity saving throw to not trip and put you guys all in the water.
I'm gonna stay on my safe ice block. Fuck you, stupid motherfuckers.
Okay, he stands up just fine. Brah. And he is to climb up here, and yeah, he'll swing at you, Dolphy. With his almighty great axe of awesome to the face. Damn, nope. I rolled a 4. Multi-attack. Oh, I get 2 swings?
Been there before.
that one does hit me.
Well, what was the first roll? Oh, never mind. That was his dex save throw or whatever. That's right.
Ooh, low damage. Take 18. You can tell he is super slow and does not move. So that was low damage. It's 3d12 plus 6.
I'm almost dead.
Yeah.
Right.
The point was, you don't want to fight this thing.
Well, yeah, we didn't want to fight
it. Bird, you're up. Then, he fell.
I know.
Bird, you're up. He's also barely standing on the ice. Like, he is wobbly AF. And that's cracked there. So Bird's up, and then Ben is on deck.
Here we go. So I'm going to go in, and we're going to try these.
You hit him on the button.
Sweet.
Oh boy, 6 points of damage.
Then
scratch.
And I'll spend a key point and flurry of blows.
2 unarmed strikes. Scratch. Scratch. Okay.
And then I am going back. Let's see, he's probably got a range of 10.
Oh yeah, you can tell when he hit Dolphy. He's got a big reach.
So I'll take my free disengage and back up 20 feet and go like over there. I'd say.
Key point disengage.
No, okay. Key point to disengage. Free disengage.
Why free?
Way of the Drunken Master.
Oh, of course you are. All right, so yeah, you can tell he's got a 10-foot. He is not very mobile on this ice at all. He is very fat guy on a little block. Ben, you're up. Canis, you're on deck.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm just running here.
He's like, nah, screw you guys. He will take his reaction.
Wait, where was he standing next? Was he right next to him?
He has a reach of 10 feet.
Right. So I'm outside of his reach, though.
You are.
Thank God.
Does the 17 hit?
Yes, I'll let that hit.
Are you sure? If you have an option to not let it hit, don't let it hit.
Fine. I will spend.
Wait, hold on.
Another 2 side points to.
Hold on, Ben. Sentinel, what was that?
Because can I take a reaction off of a reaction?
Yes, but
yes,
keep in mind trigger off of his.
Yes.
Absolutely. After his is finished, though, so he has to either hit or miss before you react.
But protection, I can inflict disadvantage on the attack.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely, he can do that. Whether you hit
so
or
not
miss.
even Sentinel.
That is not the right roll. I have to do this roll.
Oh.
So
it's disadvantage, so it's still just
the 17. So what are you going to do? 2 points to do what?
To do defensive step. That will raise my AC to 18 if you miss.
Okay, just for curiosity, it would have been 25 points of damage.
And that also would allow me to teleport 10 feet, but that's not going to help me here, so I'm not.
What do you mean?
Sure, it will. Basically, it'll put you there. Gives you 10 more feet of movement.
I'll do that.
Oh, okay, so that was me, and that was the bird, and that was Sethrak who ran, and then Chaz, and then Bert's on deck.
I want to power word Eve.
Nom, 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 nom.
Now let's try. Okay, bullets, first level. 25 to hit.
Nice.
Wait, no, 27 to hit.
Right.
No, those are my rolls.
Oh, it didn't even fucking roll it. This piece of shit game. Okay. Anyways.
You gotta click the.
No, I'm just gonna do it this way. Because I'm fucking illiterate when it comes to trying to make these fucking macros. Okay, 14 to hit.
Miss him by 1.
Ah, damn. So I'm gonna cry in a corner. Spirit of the Dying.
Spirit of the Dying. Bert, you're up. Candace, do you want to move at all?
Alright, well, I'm gonna do regular move over to here, so I gotta make a acrobatics, right? Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna cast a spell first. So hold on.
I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Yes.
Bert,
No.
do the thing.
I'm doing the thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm gonna add 2d8 to this. I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, I'll just do it this way. Slash. Damn it, not enough.
What the hell is that?
Actually, I'm gonna empower that so I can So I'll use 2 sorcery points, and I will re-roll the 2 and 5. So.
Not the 4.
Are you trying to cast sleep?
I'm trying to cast sleep, sir. So subtracts. Yeah. I'm just gonna re-roll the 2 and 4.
Okay.
So we're at 33 right now.
33 plus whatever you roll.
8. 13.
46 is not enough.
Damn. Hello. Yeah.
Not the thing I thought you were going to do. Go. Take your move. DC 10 check to jump over the rock or the ice crack.
Alright.
And Dolphy, you're up next.
Oh, wait. That's it. I'm sorry. I got to change this from disadvantage.
Try it again.
What? No. What are you doing?
Went the other way.
There we go.
Okay, you're good. Dolphy, you're up.
Let's go ahead and take a swing at him while I'm here.
Sure. Disengaging running sounds like a good idea, but swinging is also a thing.
Yep, we're gonna.
Okay, he's barely bloodied. Actually, he's bloodied on the number.
Yep.
And you are in I'm going to kill you threatened. So that's fine. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Go for it. Roll hit.
I did. 20.
He hits.
That's going to hit. 11 damage.
11 points of damage. And then I'm also going to then turn and run.
He's used his reaction, so he can't swing. Good call.
And then, so we're going to move. There's 15. Then we are going to action surge to move a second time to there. And 1 jump over.
He uses his action surge 50 feet.
Like I said, wow. I still wanted to stab him, but we're going to move. Do a bit of damage before we leave him.
Well, at this point, he's beyond bloodied. We could finish him.
Yeah, he can also still very much finish us.
He's going to move to the middle to balance and maintain his balance. And then he's going to turn and throw a chunk of ice up at the bird.
As Chaz tries to Radiant Bolt.
I'm just practicing like
the bird ducks out of the way.
Wait, so is that technically a ranged weapon attack?
Yes.
So I can deflect it?
Yes.
So it doesn't hit me anyways. But should I burn a quick
check it
and
see if
throw
you
it
can throw
back
it back?
What else are you gonna do for your reaction?
Come on, why not?
Well, should I burn a key point to try to throw it back?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that even a question? Of course.
Dude, if you ninja kick this shit right back into him, I'm gonna be so mad.
Do it. It's gonna be hilarious.
Okay, so I'll burn another key point.
That's 4. Please roll. Please roll 1.
Then
It's like a D12 or something, right?
I don't even remember how deflect works.
It's
you take us to reduce your customer's small.
Oh no, you have to reduce the damage, so it has to be a
Zero.
hit.
Yeah.
So you can't.
You
do
can
it.
use your reaction to deflect or catch. Oh, when you are hit, so I'm not hit. Never mind.
right.
You gotta be hit by it. Got it.
Because you have to reduce. You'd have to reduce 40-10 plus damage.
Okay.
Okay. So then we move off to you're up, Bird. Y'all just want to run now, because you got less than an hour until Game of Thrones.
Fuck it. No. Let's kill this giant. Nope.
Oh man. All right, fine.
So that was lame. Flurry of blows again. That'll hit. And that'll hit. So at least get some damage in on him.
So miss, hit, 14 more.
Yes. And
if you move away, he does have his reaction.
I still have free disengage. Yep.
That's dumb.
I seem drunk.
This is why Aarakocra monks are stupidly overpowered.
I think I'll go back over this way, but cleric.
Okay, Ben and then Chaz.
I guess I'll shoot at him.
He's pretty hurt now.
But I don't think it's gonna do it.
Yeah, it's not gonna do nothing.
Because of course I can't roll above a 10 when it's actual attack roll.
You have to use Flurry of Blows to get the benefits of the disengage action.
Yes.
Drunken technique. Okay, just so you're aware.
I did. Oh.
And your walking speed increases. Not that you'll ever use it. Okay, Ben.
We're underground.
And then moving.
Yeah, I'm going to move.
But Brad, that's until he picks up the mobile feat. Then all he has to do is attack it once.
Mm-hmm.
I already have mobile.
Oh, then he doesn't even have to worry about it. Well,
Yeah.
as long as he attacks it, he's free to move away.
Yeah.
You're also out of key points now.
No, I've got one left.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
You've done Flurry of Blow, Flurry of
Twice.
Blow. Oh, I thought you did Step of the Wind. Okay.
No.
Okay. Ben's gone. Next up is going to be Chaz, then Bert.
So am I up now, or?
Yeah, Chaz, you're up.
Cool. So people seem to be disengaging.
Like you don't even want to fight this thing or even move.
Closer. Right. Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
Are you sure?
Well, 'cause no, it's a whole. It's a save.
Yeah.
Right, not only that, but it's not a humanoid. You would.
Right, so it doesn't work. I don't know why. Or no, that was rain of fuel. Never mind. Which would work because he has just half damage then, strength. But not what I want. How about what about this?
Tell me what you're going to do and we'll make it work.
I want to actually do command. That's a lot of text. Okay, anyways, give me a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Alright, I'm just gonna cry.
Relax.
Guess I'm just gonna move over here.
DC 10 athletics or acrobatics?
Yep.
Acrobatics. Okay, you're good. Bert, then Dolphy.
Right.
Yeah,
Same rule applies. You get to that edge, he's going to stop, so. Well.
Jesus.
Scorching Ray!
Yep. And...
So basically you went... Wow. Wow. Wow.
Except that was Candace, not Amberly.
My bad.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll just move back by the water.
Boosh.
Whoa, what's going on?
Amberly, you're in the water. Sploosh.
When I did that, I also did my what the hell is it called?
Flames of Philosopher.
Yeah, whatever. No, the conflagration magic or whatever.
Okay. You're in the water.
Okay.
I need a perception check, and then Dolphy, you're up.
A perception check. All right.
Oh boy.
That's always fun. Yeah.
You might possibly have felt something stroke your leg.
Yay. Quippers.
And not in the way I'm really probably using that.
Oh,
hey, She's still a virgin.
Which hole?
All of them.
Bert, 12 is enough. I only wanted a 10. You saw something in the water.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
Yeah, Amberly.
Okay. You saw that. Okay. Dolphy, you're up.
All right.
Oh,
So,
that sounds fast.
First off, we will, what's it called? Second wind.
Second wind. Heal me.
So I guess. D10 later. Oh.
Heal 5, guy.
Entire village is coming after us.
You guys are boned. You better move.
We obviously went to a too high level area. Everyone's getting aggroed.
In that case, then, if I move here, can I still reach Emberly in the water? Can I attempt to?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you. First, I need.
As long as you don't fall in the water too.
Just
son of a.
Nope. You grab her and she won't sink, but you don't pull her up. The current is enough.
That there's
What's
my
the jump?
My jump.
Oh no! Wet kitty
Get
cat.
over first. Yep.
Sploosh.
That's the jump.
You're grabbing onto the edge. You're not completely in the water. Onto the edge, so you can pull yourself up.
And that, yeah, in that case, I'll use.
You could use the rest of your movement to get up.
Yeah, let's use the rest of my movement to get back up. And that's my turn.
Well,
yeah, that was the rest of my movement. I still had action technically still then, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So I could still then try and pull Emberly up.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Okay.
Who's got techno playing in the background?
Not me.
It's the Murlocs coming to invade.
Can you pull it up? He goes to double move to jump here and then jump here. He jumps here.
Did I pull Emberly up?
And he lands on it and he tips the entire thing in the water. He goes in the water. He then attempts to pull himself up on yours and flips over the one you two are standing on. He is sinking. You are both in the water.
Can we attempt the momentum of that flipping over to land on this?
Oh, no.
Because it's coming up and over the top.
So you're not buried under the water. You're going to pop out here and here. But he is buried under the ice. The two things of ice that he flipped over on top of literally sinking. And he is not going to be able to swim his way up. So he is gone. But you're both in the water.
Great.
So we don't get to finish them ourselves?
I mean, Gravity did twice.
I mean,
we still hit it, so we get help XP, right?
I mean, we survived the encounter.
We hit it once. We still count as being in the fight. That's why I poked it real quick.
Right.
But, yes, for those that don't know, so you guys can make your moves and get... Kenneth, you can just basically make me 3 checks. Stethrak 2. And then Spirit and Emberly, you need to climb out and then make 2.
No. I haven't make it past the first one.
So I'll fly over and, try to help them. So I'll play like...
So you're going to help Spirit or Emberly?
You already helped me. You really want
probably Emberly, because...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Emberly, you can have advantage on your checks.
All right.
So I need what? Athletics to climb out, and then you said 2 jump.
It's 12 to climb out and the 10 to get over. Oh, I'm glad you had advantage, Bert. That's your 12 to climb out. You need 2 to get over.
All right. And I don't have advantage for those. I assume that's normal. So
that's normal.
Yeah.
1.
Hey,
on the
just
bottom.
barely.
Alright. Climb out.
Dolphy out.
Dolphy
over.
Jump 2. But Kitty is mad and is getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, as soon as we get off this ice, I will start a fire.
Chaz!
No, I already fell on the ice a while ago.
He fell on the ice here. Bloop.
No,
and
fly
you fall
over
on the
and
ice,
help
you
them.
see the Murlocs, and they are action. So Tenacity is going to come over and help you and give you advantage on your next check to get out. DC 12.
Advantage on.
Hey.
And then you're good. You can walk the rest of the way. All right, you guys are safe and go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Cool.
I'm going to go grab something else to drink.
Got a pizza in the fridge.
Yep.
Well, that was exciting.
Yeah.
That's one word for it.
Luckily, further down the river, not too much further down, it looks like it's pretty solid.
Right.
Yeah, the
Now that we're
perfect place
down-
for an ice giant town where they all come and kill us.
We have to go this way anyway. We might as well continue down the river now that we're down here.
Right.
It'd be quicker travel at this point. So I'm sure we could probably find some sort of cavey area along the shore, camp out for a little while if we need.
Set up a camp, yeah.
See if we can't find an area slightly off the ice to create some heat and not melt through.
Right.
I mean, if it's thick enough, right,
How's it going?
get the whole
What was all that funky
Dante style.
Oh, it was a bunch of TikToks with this one dude doing hilarious parkour things.
Yeah.
You know, like sort of like slow-mo videos of him like beating it into a fence and shit like that.
Got it.
And he did a backflip in stilettos. That was pretty cool.
Did it back up in what?
In stilettos. It was kind of talented.
Oh, my connection went to crap.
Wow!
Yeah, so did mine.
You still magicking? Or so you still D&D?
Oh, yeah.
Both.
But it should be over in like 45 minutes, so I were thinking to do this one.
No, just curious.
Why is our connection so bad?
No, those wasn't there, so.
Who's hosting?
It's not that I didn't want
I
to
think Bert's holding the call, and if it goes
I
off,
think I have to pizza tomorrow for lunch then.
is whoever starts the call hosting it.
What's going
Oh
on?
no.
Yeah.
Our connection all just went to crap.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's having it.
Taking around mostly.
Yeah, it was good a minute ago. I don't know what happened. But I got a lot of.
Now it's back.
Thankfully, like tonight's the last episode of Game of Thrones, and it starts in like 40 minutes. So
Yeah,
Is
we'll
that
be,
why they're calling it off at that point?
nobody cares about your magic or your Game of Thrones.
I've actually just started watching the series.
Let me copy.
It's a good series.
So you guys,
First 2 seasons.
so exhaustion. Bird has the level of exhaustion. Minder,
Yeah.
where is that?
Bird gets negatives or disadvantaged all checks.
Oh, dang. Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
But Bird hasn't had to make checks because he's flying.
Yep.
So
But is that to attack rolls and everything too? Or?
no, just
No.
ability checks.
I think that's second level.
Just ability checks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, one level of exhaustion is pretty light in 5th
But
edition.
then it ramps up really quick.
It does. And having disadvantaged ability checks, I mean, if any of us other people had that, we'd be screwed.
Yeah, this whole fight would have gone completely different.
Alright. So the good news is you guys are going to travel. You can see that the river gets solid and swimming through the ice. The ice is crystal clear. You could see them under the ice, but the ice is so thick that they basically are underneath you, and they can't get through the ice to you. As you progress farther up, you realize that climbing along the cliff face would have been a bad idea because it basically would have turned into ice wall about an hour farther up, where it's literally a sheer sheet of ice. It had been a D25 climb check without any assistance. Up on top, you can tell that there are different hills and stuff you have to climb over. But you can see that there's actually a clutch of frost giants that eventually moved that towards the peak that would have been able to come down and you had to go. So traveling along the river was by far your safest bet without having to stealth or do some serious climbing. But if you have to do it with Murlocs. You guys are going to travel for quite a while along the frozen river. But at this point, I will need everybody that doesn't have resistance against cold to make that DC concentration or DC 10 constitution to avoid dealing with the cold because you're now at 0 temperature.
Well, can I keep like a fire going the whole time, like in the air or something? Like I know I can't do the bonfire,
I can't
but I can.
hear anybody. You all sound like
Yeah, people sound like robots. Oh wait, now it's better. What happened there? Now it's all of a sudden better.
Again, now the connection just got good, finally. Yeah. Okay, so DC 10 Constitution. I know you can create a bonfire to help keep warm, but you can, you're going to create a bonfire and it's going to
control fire. I can control the fire too, like an airbender, basically. I have literally control flame.
I get that, but the bonfire gets created on the ground, which would crack the ice, which the Murlocs are waiting for. So while you can help, it's still enough that you have a party that you got to keep everybody.
Right, well, I mean, I could also produce flame, which does a campfire.
Again, cracking the ice. So basically, Sethrak does not deal well with the cold. He's got icicles hanging all off of him. He is not a happy hobgoblin. So the bad news is you'll also take a level. The good news is you guys are going to get to the point where you're going to need. The sun starts to go down and it starts getting really. We're talking like -20. But you're in the middle of a frozen river in a canyon. It's about 100 feet wide with pure ice walls going up 100 feet. So you're in a box of ice. Underneath the ice is the Murlocs, and you guys need. What do you do?
Do those boots require attunement?
Mine?
That is a game mechanic I'm not going to worry about, but yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't just you can't just wear one or pass it around.
Well, yeah, as I say, just swap them around.
Fuck all you people. No, fuck all you people. Here's the thing. Y'all took them baller-ass magic items and left me with the crap items, and also my crap items are really good. My items, not yours.
Hey, no. Hold on.
No. Fuck your bullshit.
The only thing I got is the bag of holding. That's it.
No, I got the bag of holding. You got the wand of magic to
He started with
there's nothing else I could use, really.
Pretty much all I got is resist disease or immune to disease, which is pretty useless most of the time. So there's.
I have cool magical items. You started with a bag of holding.
Oh, right. We have two bag of holdings then. Okay.
Yes, you have two.
All right. I was getting confused there for a minute. All right.
So Ben and Zach each have a level of exhaustion and are currently on a river of ice. You know that it's going to be another day's worth of travel.
I know.
It is sub-zero temperature, like negative through this game.
So, are there any
I mean, I got blankets and
outcropping that we can go in a little and just get out of the wind as a start?
The best you can do is kind of find some parts where the ice kind of comes out and it'll negate it a little bit, but not like a full cave or outcropping.
Or like a little bend or something where we're just in a bay of the river.
Any sort of little cubby?
Yeah.
But it's not enough to make it really negate because it's literally like glass all the way down and across. You're in a 100 foot by 100 foot of glass ice.
You take, once we find that one, take a couple of the torches, set them up so it's actually an elevated heat point. So it's not on the ice, but it's sitting up a ways.
Or try to melt the wall.
Your torches are having a hard time staying lit with the wind and the water in the air.
Didn't we get tents at some point?
Full tents.
Yeah, I would assume that we'd have something because we're going traveling.
Aren't there any caves that we can go reside in?
No, didn't find any along ways. I already asked.
Okay, so what are you gonna do about the elements here?
Well, I mean, I have a tent. and some blankets. I mean, we can try to bundle everybody up and try to stick or kind of keep warm, huddle up for warmth, right?
So you guys try to all snuggle up, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what we got with the tent and the blanket pile. And
do you have a heat source?
I mean,
each other.
My fuzzy boots.
Here's the thing that I don't. Well, here's my question. Here's my thing. Like people have like built like campfires when they're like ice fishing and stuff.
Right.
They have shelter.
I mean, you can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying that you have to be careful. Right. And they usually have things to contain the fire or to elevate it up, like you said.
Right. So if we use the torches, can Emberly something get the fire going enough?
The create bonfire specifically states it has to be.
Right, but I don't have to. I can start a regular fire.
Fashion way. Why? I'm telling you guys to use your brains and survival skills and tell me how you're going to survive.
Yeah, I've got torch and tinderbox, so if I can get the fire going, Emberly can control flame to keep it going enough to let it take full hold and maintain going on the torches that are. We could sit there and take like 2 torches, create small little hold points in the ice so they sit upright. Now we've got a small fire sitting 2 feet, 3 feet off the ground that Emberly can just slow roast and make sure it stays going. But yet keeping it contained so it doesn't, burn out the tent or whatever else. Kind of turning it into more of a heat lamp, just creating an orb of flame right on top of the torch.
Do you guys have tents?
I have a tent.
She has one.
Okay, I need a survival check. Somebody can help you?
Who's going to help survival check?
I'd be down either. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, Emberly's not putting up the tent. She just carries the tent.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the usual thing with her.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not actually doing anything. She just...
Alright, hold on. Come out. Control flame lets you expand flame. It doesn't let you stop it. You can extinguish all flames within a cube. You can double or halve or change its color. You can cast simple shapes. But you got to figure a way to get the flame up off the ground.
Right, it's on the torch. It's on the torch end, not on the bottom of the torch. You can stab the torch into the ground or whatever, and just have the torch up there, and just.
So you're basically lighting a torch inside the tent, trying not to set the tent on fire.
Right, he's controlling.
I'm not trying. I can control the flame away from the tent. I'm not going to let it catch.
Again, control flame lets you extinguish a 5-foot cube or expand it.
So my question is, why do we need heat source? We have a tent, we've got bedrolls, we've got cold weather gear. We were equipped for cold weather coming up here from the monastery.
Yeah, it's still, I'm telling you, you're sleeping up ice with
right, and the guys that go and climb the Himalayas just use tents. Tents and bedrolls, basically.
Oh. At negative 20 in a wind tunnel? On water.
They don't light fires. They do cook.
I'm just saying, I was just asking if you're doing it. It's risky. But either way, you guys aren't going to get attacked through the night and the sun will come up the next morning. Your tent torch thing will be enough to stop you from basically rolling another save. You're going to progress on for an entire another day. Make sure you mark off food. And the rule is written, dealing with, you make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or have a level of exhaustion. It's not you're freezing to death, you're wearing down. They still can't be up there forever. So, end of day 2, I need another save from everyone.
From everyone?
DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
This is from the cold?
Yep, not you.
Hold on, quick question. Who's got exhaustion right now? Do we have anybody with 2 levels?
No, they have 1
Nobody
level.
now.
Ben has 1, and you lose 1 level after a rest, don't you?
Right.
Didn't
Yeah.
we
Right.
make long rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
So nobody has 1.
Right.
And I regain.
Everybody's full health.
Okay. And everybody passed?
Yep.
Duffy, Ben, Zach. Passes enough to make 1. Okay. The next day, you guys are going to finally, and you're going to come to a lake that is basically a large, deep crater. It's very dark because it is in the backside, and it's almost like the mountain leans at an angle like this and casts a shadow down over this pool of water. Because of the way the shadow is, the light from the flux, it makes it look like this almost bottomless hole as you look down through the ice. And different parts of ice have jutted up, almost like crystals. They're just big ice formations here. Underneath the ice, it just goes as far as you can see. And the lake, eventually, you can see the lake is not super big. It's probably 1,000 yards in diameter. And then it is plain flat and just white as far as you can see to the horizon in every direction, going north, east, and west. It is the tundra of nothing. Nothing. There are no murlocs. You notice that about 4 hours back, the murlocs stopped swimming towards you, slowly but surely, and then they turned around. You are out over nothing, and this is literally what you see.
Huh.
But the lake fits perfectly, you notice, in the shadow of the peak of the mountain from the flux. So it is very dark, it is dim lit, it is cold. There's these large rock ice outcroppings here.
Huh. Power word yeet.
Yeet.
I say we go.
Has magic detection?
You can detect magic?
No, Emberly.
We have a wand.
Do we? Who got that?
We have a wand. Emberly.
I'm sorry, my mic was off. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. I've been saying that this whole time. I do. I have it.
Because I'm thinking that, we can't see anything, right?
Right. So I'll cast it.
Okay, Emberly, you've got a 30-foot range that doesn't penetrate past a stone to metal or 3 feet of wood, dirt, or ice. So move around and tell me where you're at. Hold on, I'll do one better. Everybody else can move where they want. I'm going to do this. For basic 30 feet square. Okay, there's your... That should have just created an... Where'd it go?
Uh-oh, I just crashed.
Yeah, something happened I'm going to reload. Because I created an aura and then it
Mic off.
I see it sitting just on a screen.
Yep, because it keeps going back to 30.0. Let me do that. See, it keeps going back to...
Mic on.
30 feet. It makes it big, and then it goes back down to being 0 again.
Huh.
Let me turn off square.
Mic off.
Nope. See, it keeps doing it. Oh, it's because of the aura thing I have on them. It's because of the rings I have on you. So we'll do it this way. Oh, I can't see if I zoom out that far. So, Emberly, You should be able to. Oh, I can make a screen. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. So there should be a green box.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move that, can you?
No.
I don't think so.
I can. Okay, there we go. I can move it with you. So where are you going to move?
Like in the box?
No, like Emberly can move her token.
Oh, within the box?
You guys can all take a move action or double move if you want. I'm just moving the box with her because the aura isn't working.
And is that supposed to be like an area of heat?
That's detect magic.
Oh, that's detect magic?
Oh, wait, that's not even close to right. I need to make it bigger.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not 30 feet.
You're not.
Yeah, it's only 15.
5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Oh, dang, so it's a big square.
Right, it's a real big square.
All right, so you start moving out. And you guys move out there and there and there. Does anybody have a...
A what?
Passive perception, 17 or higher.
15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, everybody can roll perception then. Good job, Dolphy.
I don't know. Check couch cushions.
Yeah, that's where I left it, in the couch cushion.
Following Emberly with her detect magic.
All right. Those of you who see it coming get to duck. Everybody that didn't see it coming gets to make a dexterity saving throw DC 13. Dolphy, you make it with disadvantage.
Hey,
you're still good. No damage.
Cat reflexes.
Okay, you guys all managed to duck the exploding shards of ice as the pillars around you shoot out ice shards.
That's a thing.
Emberly, since the ice shards shot out, it removed enough of the ice from the pillars that you can see that there was magical triggers in
that's fine.
Each of those pillars. And you can tell that the inside each of those pillars is a 5 foot by 5 foot square. These all had basically just magical charges that shot out ice charges. And you can also tell that this one here did not. You're close enough that you can see with detect magic that that one here does not have a trap in it, but it is still magic.
Ooh.
Because I gave you a wand of detect magic because I'm dumb.
I have it as a spell anyway.
Yeah, that makes you use a spell.
But not really. I could cast that as a ritual.
Which takes forever.
10 minutes.
That was an hour, but either way.
Yeah. So I guess
investigate the pillar.
Yeah, we can go check out the pillar.
Check it out. Check it out.
It's not gonna explode.
Let's go look. Like, all these pillars exploded?
Emberly, you may make an Arcana check.
I wish I was good at that.
You should be. You're a sorceress.
Yeah, you see, but that's based off of intelligence, not charisma.
Yeah, that's more my thing.
Right.
Yeah, Sethrak would do that too.
Right, I would probably.
Anybody that is proficient in Arcana can check. Oh well.
Yeah, that's a 21.
The cat reaches up to touch the ice, and Ben, you stop him because you realize that
Cat.
What?
you can tell that this entire rice and entire thing, all these cracks are actually ruined. And you can tell that this entire pillar of ice goes straight down into the water. Like it will move down into the water. You have figured out how to activate it safely with a 21, dear goodness. But you can also tell that if anybody fails, it will come back up. drops you off. Basically, it's an elevator.
Uh-huh.
So you hop on it, and it's going to go down into the water, and then eventually it's going to flip over and come back up.
Well, why would you go on that?
No, it doesn't open. Climb on top.
Oh.
As it goes down, or?
No, if you climb on top, it goes down. You go into the water, it flips over, and you're stuck under the water in the ice.
If you activate it, come back up, you'd be stuck in. So that's kind of what you can figure out. Is sometimes I wish you wouldn't have rolled that well. I wish you wouldn't have detected magic and freaking ducked your saving throws.
Ooh, we're falling off.
Yeah.
Connection. Like, I've missed that entire conversation.
Oh, what's going on with this connection? There, it's back.
We could try leaving call, and somebody can also start the call. It might be me.
We're
good now.
15 minutes away from.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Point, so.
So, long story short, Ben has figured out how to activate it, but you all will have to be super careful down.
Let's be all super careful.
Yeah. I mean, this seems to be fitting their description of magic in the darkness.
Yeah.
I think this is what we were looking for.
I mean, their non-description.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This
all right.
is a puzzle.
As you hop on, everybody is going to basically make me a klutz check. Translation, everybody roll a d20 and don't roll a 1.
Oh, just a d20?
Just a straight d20, don't roll a 1. I slipped on the slippery surface and I accidentally the side.
Oh!
As we all grab
Ember, like the bird forgot about his tail feathers, and Emberly slips, and at the last second, Canis, Sethrak, and Spirit grab her as her hair is like a millimeter away from touching the side. As you plunge down into the darkness, the light from the surface starts to slowly fade and fade and fade and fade, until eventually you're encompassed in pure blackness. Does anybody whoever doesn't have dark vision, you're completely blind.
I see nothing.
I see nothing.
Good.
I'm just like, Emberly?
I make a torchlight.
Is that safe?
I need...
That's a good call. Is it safe? It would have been a good call before I did that.
Yeah. Ben didn't read that part of the instructions to us.
Okay, you flip up a small light. As you flip up a small light, you see a large white plane across the camera. And eventually, when it keeps going, you see the pupil.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you see white scales.
Kill the light.
Great. Lights off. Lights already been off.
You continue riding your miss and your death for about 20 minutes.
Do those of us with dark vision see anything still?
Those of you with dark vision can see into the darkness as far as you do, and that's about it. It's pitch black, and you don't even see fish down this part. Then, it eventually lands in a small room that is basically 20 by 20. It has this, you can now see that you're underwater, and the water rises up out of the room, actually. It's like it's pressurized. The crystal flips over into the water and scoots back up. You're standing in the room, and you can see in through a doorway. And on the east side of the room, it is this. You are in basically it's ice underneath here. You each, hold on a sec. Bloop. Do. And boop, boop, boo, doo, doo. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Make sure that's right. And players, you are in a throne room made purely of ice, and sitting on the throne is a creature you have never seen before. He is a skeleton that is made out of pure ice, and he sees you as you walk through the door, pulls up his visage, and he looks like the man you dealt with back at the crypt. He says, "How dare you interrupt me in my lair? You shall all serve the darkness!" And at that point, we're going to stop because you're entering a boss battle for next game. Enjoy Game of Thrones.
Sounds good.
Game of Thrones cliffhanger.
Game of Thrones cliffhanger. You get to fight the Lich King.
Nice.
Oh, great.
All right, who rolled Arya's character for
We don't have a rogue. What's going on? Arya's definitely an assassin.
That is true.
Except for I can teleport. That's close.
All right.
That's part of the setup. All right.
So this will tie into the main plot. This is kind of a bossy type fight, but this will tie into the main plot with all the stuff, and you'll get some major story after this fight. So
cool. Awesome game, Brad.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm glad you had fun. That's not how I expected any of that to go.
It never goes any way that we ever expect it to go. No.
Like, cool, you're going to fight cross strategy.
The one thing I did expect was I was going to fall, and I did. I mean, that happened. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, we all knew that was going to happen.
Right.
But hey, Candace didn't die this time.
No.
So that's
Achievement unlocked. Cleric not unconscious.
Did Candace even get hit?
No.
No, you got hit.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, Canis was even attacked by a giant boulder, and it missed him.
Missed him by one.
Every day has
or two.
But
the Lich King will be an interesting situation. And then
for
that
once, I actually use powers that aren't just boost damage.
Right, you weren't just Super Bowl go. So I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that. Hold on. All right, we're gonna call it there. I know it was a shorter game, but it was fun. Enjoy. You got time to get set up for your Game of Thrones or whatever you're gonna do, and I've kind of got the story disposition after this fight all set up. So.
All right.
Sweet. So what are we looking at for next game?
We'll set it up online.
Yep,
okay.
The usual.
The usual post.
Bye.
All right, guys. It was good playing. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.